Hey guys, how are you? JP Saricolia here. Hopefully you can hear me well. I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. This Saturday, the 13th, July 13th. In the middle, technically in the summer, in the middle of the summer, getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con, which is coming very, very soon. Hope you are excited for it. Definitely, it's going to be a lot to talk about. I want to welcome everyone who is watching from anywhere in the United States. Hey, what's up, Late Night Trip? Happy Saturday, my friend. Same to you and anyone else who's watching. If you're watching here in the United States, North America, Canada, Mexico, Latin America, my friends in Brazil, we have friends from Brazil, Europe. Thank you, a lot of people there in the Middle East. We have friends from the Middle East, people in Asia. Thank you very much. Whatever you're at the moment, let me know where you're watching. Let me know how is it over there where you at. How is the weather? How is treating you? How is life? Just put it on the chat. Let me know. Where are you shouting me from? Where are you supporting me from? That would be awesome. It's always good to know where we at and the reach that we have on this channel. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for tonight, for being here with me. We have an interesting night, of course. It's the summer. There's a lot of cool things happening. If you haven't watched my reaction of the Captain America Brave New World, just watch it too. I reacted to it. I posted last night because, of course, my work, my job, I didn't get the chance to get home and make a video about it. And I wanted to do it for fun because, as many of you know, I'm a big fan of Marvel and I'm a big fan of the MCU. I feel that MCU has been kind of dropping the ball big time, and with recent movies, I think this is perhaps the way they can get back on track. So who knows? You never know with this type of trailers. It's just a teaser. It's gonna happen in February, but I think that still there's hope for this to really become a really good movie, another movie in the good lineup of movies that Marvel has produced. But I think we've been struggling since Endgame. It's been a struggle to have a good movie. So we'll see. But I want to welcome everyone. Don't forget, please, if you're watching this for the first time, you like the contents of the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know. Also, follow me on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You can also do it on Threads. It's the same JP Sari. If you want to support the channel, you can do it through the Super Chat. You can do it through Patreon. Whatever you can do to help this channel really helps me. But most importantly, leave a like in this video. Leave a comment, whether you're watching this in the future, not live. It's always, always have the timestamps, the chapters. That way you can go there if there's anything that you're interested on. You don't have time to watch the entire video. I understand, but at least if you're something that you're interested on, then you can go in through the notes and see and just choose that chapter that you prefer. So my friends, let's get into it. Just to give you an idea what we're gonna talk about tonight. Of course, I want to talk about Neca. Neca released a couple of good news, reissues of figures that some people were looking for. I want to talk about a little bit of Square Enix. I want to talk about Hono toys, this subdivision, this partner of the cheap side of Hot Toys. We're going to talk about Hot Toys, of course. I want to talk about Tamashii Nations. We're going to talk about Tomy Plus. There's a new Enterprise on the horizon, a new diecast model. And a lot of people are excited. It was announced this week. It's going to appear on August 1st. But we're going to look at it, the stuff that we have so far, the information. I want to talk about McFarlane toys. They are announced. And next week, we're going to have a big array of statues. They're going to have 1/10 scale statues, 1/6 scale statues for Marvel fans. We're going to look at the stuff they have. The teasers definitely is going to be very exciting to see a lot of these PVC statues, but they look amazing. The sculpt is amazing. I want to talk about Enesco toys. I want to talk about Star Ace toys. We want to talk about Megahouse of Kotobukiya. I want to talk about a new company I never talked about. The name is Proof. They are available at Sideshow. This they have very interesting figures, very interested, you know, figurines or statues, whatever you're gonna call it. We're gonna look at them. Hex Collectibles, Wuji Studio, Trieagles Studio. We're gonna look at Prime1 Studio. Definitely, they have a very anticipated statue for Berserk fans. We're gonna look at it today, and of course, we're gonna talk about Sideshow Con and all the teasers that they will release. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna cover them tonight and see exactly what it is that they have to offer. So let's get into it. So we're gonna first, you know, again, welcome everyone. Thank you for you taking the time with me tonight. I appreciate your support. So the first thing I want to do, let me make sure here that everything I have is properly set up. All right, everything seems fine. Cool beans. I want to make sure that everything is done correctly. Yeah, I have all my powers and stuff. I don't want my computer to be turned off. So everything is set up. All right, so let me take you first. Okay, the audio is fine. I want to take you. For some reason, okay, my audio was playing tricks with me. Okay, this is the thing when you have you're the only person, your own editor. You have to do everything. You have to do so many things at the same time. It's challenging, to say the least. All right, so first I'm gonna take you to. Let me take you right now to Big Bad Toy Store. That's where we're going to start today. Here at Big Bad Toy Store, I want to talk about, first we're going to cover Neca. Of course, there's a lot of things Neca has been releasing. Some stuff I don't care about, of course. If you're a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, the last Ronin, they are releasing more figures for that. This is a line that it seems to continue on. I don't have the entirety of the line. I've been collecting some of them. But I'm super stoked for what they're doing. For example, they got this, you know, accessories and stuff. You can see right there. If you have read this comic book, it's an interesting comic book. It's not the greatest, I would say, but they have more accessories and parts, things that you can use for display, which is really cool. As you can see, the stuff that is here, you have the street sign, you got the head for the last Ronin, head for Shinja Officer, battle damage patrol butt head, the tactical vest for Shinja patrol butt. So you technically are getting a lot of different parts. Hiroto hologram, security camera, sword, manhole cover, 2 butts. So you get a Fugitoid battle damage. So you get all these things here. Technically it's just a whole parts if you want to create your diorama. So a lot of parts that can be used, as you can see, are all included here. Technically parts that have been released before and in some way and form, and now they're given. I guess kind of cool that they're doing that in some way, giving you accessories that you don't have to create yourself and you can use for different things. So that is kind of cool. Look at this sword. So they're getting all this for $53.99. Some people will say that it's a heavy price for just a few things, but it's technically something that they're doing here. Now the price here, you can see, and now this figure is also available in other places, but here, this is the battle damage last Ronin. This is technically the naked turtle. If you remember in the comic book, there's a part where he has no clothes after he's been kind of beaten. You know, he's resting and he's recovering in the lair, on his lair, and he's like this. So they actually have this part. It's kind of cool that they're going, you know, the last Ronin, they've been milking, I will tell you this, they've been milking this comic book by taking a lot of different versions of the different turtles and just particular scenes that they didn't last long, maybe a page or two or less than a page, just a few drawings in here and there, and they're using as much as they can. And you know what, it seems that fans love it. They really love this. This is Mikey right here, the last Ronin. Of course, he's massive. He's no longer a kid or teenager. There's no longer the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. He's just now a man, you know, an adult for sure. So yeah, they get in all these parts. It's kind of cool. It has interchangeable porters, as you can see, and different accessories. You see how many porters he has. Technically he has 4. interchangeable arms with the Vendates. Of course, you get the hands. You have a book, a coloring book, or whatever. He's that. I forgot this manual of this. Technically, the notes that he has, he was reading at in the comic. I try to remember. I don't remember particularly the scene what he's doing, but he's reading. I think this is from Donatello, if I'm not mistaken, and of the notes of Splinter. I don't remember. And of course, some teeth there. So they're getting all of this, and here's the packaging. So it's kind of cool that they're doing that. Added to the list of the figures that I gotta keep adding for them, because there's a few that I'm missing. Now you also get the Ultimate Elite Ninja Patrol, the ninjas. Technically, these are the white ones. These are technically the elite warriors. So these are technically build an army type of figures. You can build an army with this. You need more than one to really create the scenes that you need to. That's kind of cool. Comes with all the different accessories. As always, Neca is very good at that. This is technically a one that it would be great to sell as I think they sell it also as a pair. You need technically a pair for this. Now they did for this one. They have the action 2-pack, but they got the 2 different versions. That's something kind of like, it's kind of stupid in my opinion. They should have like 2 color ones. You know, the regular ninja soldiers, and then of course the elite soldiers. They should have one of each. No, not one of each. You have 2 pairs of each. That way it would be a lot easier to buy. They technically forcing you to buy more of these, and the price is not cheap for $70, but the figures look great. Of course, this is Neca, of course, with a lot of detail. The box looks cool, so you can get him like this. So yeah, again, the last Ronin continues to grow. They continue to grow this line. You know, we will see. I'm sure that we will see at San Diego Comic-Con. They're ready for it. So what they're going to show us there, they're going to show us a lot of this stuff. What's the new stuff they're going to show? The stuff that is going on pre-order at the end of the year, for the next year. I don't know. There's a lot of expectation for what is to come. But I think that what people are excited for, in many ways I am excited. I'm happy that they're doing this, is that they are doing re-releasing the Mirage comics, the Jim Lawson figures. They are re-releasing this. Of course, you remember they got the 4-pack that was a Holoton exclusive, Target exclusive. I have a set of that. I bought myself one of those sets. I love it. I love the packaging. I love the art. I was kind of like torn into opening the box. I didn't want to open the box because I felt, man, I need to get another one. But at the same time, the price for the package was like $150 out of the blue. And, you know, I only grabbed one. And they got a few, kind of pinched myself for not grabbing another one. But I grabbed one. Oh, no, I didn't grab it. I had to order online or something with Target. It was another package that I did. Another package that there were more. I think those are the Holotons that were from the previous year. But the point is, I was able to grab one. It took me some time to grab it. Once I got it, I said, you know what? I love the packaging. I didn't get another one. Now they're going, people were asking for like crazy prices, over almost $300 or so, or something like that. Ridiculous for the package, double the price. People want to make a buck, of course, but you know how it is with this. So the reality is that now that they're re-releasing these figures, it gives a chance to everybody to own them. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna grab this. Although I already have these figures, I'm gonna grab the individual ones, so I can open those individual ones and I can play with those, you know, display them. And I want to keep my other box intact just for display, because I love the art that was done by Kevin Eastman. Did a fantastic art, a rendition in the front. It's just really neat packaging. It's one of the best packagings in the series, in my opinion. So I just want to keep it like that. So this is technically a godsend, in my opinion. It's the same figures. There's some added accessories that have come with other figures in this line, into the Image line. Some other figures like this. So it's not like necessarily, because the other figures did not come with the, you know, with the original package. But you know, you get the extra ones. The packaging is also cool, and they're available here. They're available, I think, in other places. I've seen them on other different stores, you know, Entertainment Earth. So it's available in many places, and he hasn't sold out yet. So I'm guessing that they're gonna have an ample, you know, numbers. They're gonna have a lot of numbers out there, so it's gonna be readily available, which is great. So that exclusive package, that's just the exclusive that comes from Target. Now, don't pay the prices. Don't go on to eBay and pay the crazy price people are asking for those, because that's technically are obsolete. These are going to be more ultimate in the sense that they have more accessories. unless you wanted that, like I do, keep it just for that. I'm super glad that they did it. If you only want to keep that for, you know, for display, by all means, that's for collectible value, for collectible purposes, go for it. That's the reason I'm gonna keep it like that. But I'm definitely gonna grab this so I can have it. And this one, of course, also comes with the hoodie and all that stuff, and the gun and extra parts that they were not, like the mask of Casey. It's kind of, I'm glad that they're doing this. Definitely looks great. The packaging looks great too. Very cool. The standard packaging for the, you know, for this collection, for the Mirage Comics collection. And here you have, of course, Leonardo. That's pretty cool. Very excited that they are releasing this for sure. And I like that even the art and the photographs in the back, they're really great, even for reference purposes when you're trying to come up with pictures. And of course they have the, you know, Michelangelo here looking really great. Some people were asking why is it that they couldn't just do like color bandanas, and to me it's like, no, please do not do it. I know some people would like to have the color bandanas, but that to me kind of defeats the purpose, because this is based on the comic book. This is based on the art of the comic book, and they did not have the colors. That was a cartoon thing. That is a different totally version. And sometimes people want to mess up things. They want to change it. Of course, everybody's entitled to have imagination and to create their own concept of ideas. Maybe some people will repaint this, who knows? But the reality is that I like him just representing the art. I think represent the art, not only Jim Lawson, because people call him this the Jim Lawson ones, but also the art. You know, Kevin Geisman was actually the one inking, and also I think Lair was also inking on top of Jim Lawson. So definitely you can feel, when you look at Jim Lawson, when he was just drawing the turtles, it looked a bit different, more boxy. But the inking that was done by Eastman and Lair, I think is really give her that extra hit look that you see right here. And Kevin Eastman is the one doing the art nowadays for the boxes, for the art, all that stuff. And it's just like this. So yeah, I'm excited. You know, I'm super happy. This art, as you can see right here, the art, this was drawn by Kevin Eastman. So, you know, it looks great. I think I'm super excited that Neca is doing this. I think this should have been done some time ago, but I'm glad that it's happening now. I'm going to grab in. I'm going to have my extra set, and I'm happy. The other one is going to stay there in the package until, I don't know, maybe I get tired of it and I sell it. Who knows? You know, because sometimes I do that, or I just keep it. Like, I have a lot of boxes. I have a lot of stuff in package that has been sitting there for years, and I just like, sometimes I feel so bad sometimes opening boxes. I know that you know, I'm the type of person that I understand that figures need to breathe. And I love the figures because the purpose of them is to be out of the box and be able to move the parts, articulate them, all that. But I also love the packaging. I think there's a lot of love that goes into the packaging with this art. And I think one of the companies that does a great job in doing so is Neca. They put a lot of love into the art. The artists do. It feels kind of terrible just to open the box, throw it in the trash. At the same time, you know, you don't want to keep adding more boxes to things. So I try to kind of only keep some packaging. For some that I have more of the retro look, or I love what they did, I cannot keep everything in a box, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. So sometimes the best way to do it is just to have two, one to open and one just to keep on display. You know, it's just, sometimes you have to do it, but sometimes it's not as feasible because of the prices that we have nowadays. You know, you try to always be smart with the money instead of just throwing money at these companies left and right, particularly when the prices are extremely high. So yeah, it is what it is. So this is what Neca did. So now let me take you to another company. We're going to go to Sideshow. Sideshow Collectibles today, because I want to show you another set of figures. But this are from a company, Square Enix. Of course, you're a fan of Square Enix. They have built so many different things over the years. And they have a couple figures. As you can see, this is from different games in the Final Fantasy world. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. I'm not necessarily an RPG fan. I have played some Final Fantasy. I have, you know, Final Fantasy games in my collections for over the years. I never really finished them. I'm just not as invested with RPGs. Although I love the art and stuff like that. I love the concept. So, but they have these figures, and looking at the prices here, for example, they're starting with this one, with this Sephiroth. This is $120. This is not a big figure. This is perhaps like 6 to 7 inches, something like that. You can see this is the Final Fantasy 7, joining the Bring Arts action figure series. The Bring Art is technically that within that 7-inch scale, between the 6 and 7-inch scale. And I will tell you, the figure looks great. I just don't think that it's worth $120. And that's another thing that I will tell you about Square Enix. I just don't like the pricing. I think that they price themselves too high for what they're really offering. This figure shouldn't be more, and I'll be honest here, more than $80. And I'm really being very, very, you know, very easy in that way. You know, like I'm really giving them that. That shouldn't be more than, in my opinion, sometimes $40-50. You know, I think with Neca, I get technically the same size and scale, and I get the accessories, and I'm paying $37. You know, like for something like $40 the most. I think that this is a little unthinkable, and I don't know. Square Enix always like that. You know, some people love this stuff, of course, as you can see, and it's not a bad figure. And don't get me wrong, it has the articulation. That's a nice sword. You can pose it in very different ways. You know, they're more poseable than the NECA figures for sure. Look at the length of that sword. But $120, that's too much. And even if it was $99 as a Storm Collectibles, I would just be more inclined to believe it. Storm Collectibles feel that they're more, you know, the figures feel like more premium in some way. So I don't know. I just don't think Square Enix is sometimes, you know, it's always been the case with them, you know, with their figures and stuff. Some figures are good. So this is the one. Now, look at the other ones, which are larger than this. You have the $180. If they even go too crazy on this one, this is a bit too expensive. And these are within, you can say within 10 inches. I would say within the 1/6 scale, almost 1/6, not necessarily full 1/6, but technically within the scale of 1/6. I would say it's a 1/6. And this is, looking at this one, this is the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I'm looking at this one, Elena. And the problem that I have with this, $180, when you're able to see the articulation, it's just of smaller figures on this scale. To me, that is, again, that is kind of unforgivable. I wish companies would understand this. You know, like if you're asking for the price, then you have to give the customer something that really attached to that price in the sense of the idea of premium quality. If you're asking for high prices, then give us something that looks premium quality. Of course, I'm here as an outsider having an opinion reference to this Square Enix figures because I don't collect them. I'm not necessarily caring much about Final Fantasy figures. I don't have any Final Fantasy figure in my collection. I just don't see why you have to pay $180 for this figure. Yes, he does have extra hands, but the articulation in the knees and the elbows, it's so clear. It looks like something smaller. Comes from like a 6-inch figure. It looks cheap. When you have other companies at this price point, for example, like Trieagles, is giving you a much better figure that hides the articulation. $150 for a Trieagles 1/6 scale figure. And you know, Trieagles is not perfect. You know, they're not perfect. They're not Hot Toys. They're not a Hot Toys level. But Trieagles, in my opinion, Trieagles gives you a much better bang for your buck. So I feel that this is the part where Square Enix kind of like, sometimes I don't know, they lost me on the way they do. I do like some of their figures. I do like what they're trying to do. Don't get me wrong, this figure's not, I like how poseable it is. You know, it's all of that. One of the factors why it's so poseable is because of that type of articulation. But at the same time, you know, as you can see, yeah, it's technically a 1/6 scale. Looking at this guy, how tall he is, it's a 1/6 scale. So, yeah, I just don't see it. And yeah, it does come with the accessories and all of that, but at this price point, then you should give you at least some seamless articulation. You know, that would be great. Better quality. This is one. Now, let me show you the other one that is here at Sideshow. Of course, this is what Sideshow is carrying now. We have this Aerith, also from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I like this one. This is a really nice figure. I gotta be honest with you. I think it's great. Like, I like it. I think it's a really nice figure with the accessories. What I like that in this case, the dress hides the articulation on the knee. But when you look at the articulation on the elbows, on the arms, and of course, that's when you feel like, okay, that kind of destroys the visual aspect of it, because then you realize it looks cheap. It makes it look cheap. You know, nowadays, look at this one in this angle, for example, how broken that elbow looks. Yeah, and the portrait is nice. You know, the figures, the sculpt is very nice. They could do a much better job in hiding the articulation. Yeah, the portrait is nice. I think it's a nice figure. On the aesthetics, on the sculpt, it's just the way they did the articulation that destroys the figure. And that's something that I would say for every other figure that they have done in the past. You know, yes, there are fans out there. There are people out there that are going to love this figure no matter what. You know, more, I respect that. Here you can see like Cloud Stripe. Cloud looks, I like it. You know, I'm not gonna deny that there's a few figures that they have come out really great. I just up to this point with Square Enix, and I'm looking at all these figures that they have produced here for this collection, continues to grow and it sells. I just feel that, you know, other companies are doing great jobs in really moving and changing and adapting their figures and moving forward with their figures. I don't know why it's that 3-0 continues to, you know, con 3-0, Square Enix continues to stay on the same path and not just improving the quality of their figures. While other companies are really greatly improving, you know, 3-0 is greatly improving this stuff. You know, Hot Toys, you know, this figures, this same concept has been used for, you know, a good amount of years now. They continue building the same type of figure. I think it needs to improve, in my opinion, of course. You know, I feel that a lot of there's a lot of potential in this characters. I think the sculpts are nice. It's just the articulation continues to be ugly, and you know, I cannot unsee that. You know, it's just something that is there and needs to be changed. All right, so let's move on from that. You know, I didn't want to just, you know, upset anyone on this one, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you know, Square Enix, come on, man, you could do a little bit better. That, you know, like, for all the money people are paying, you know, with this type of, just come out with something a little bit, you know, more premium quality, a better look. All right, so let me show you to the next figure, and this is one. Now we're going into, it went right away onto the wait list, right away. Didn't, only a couple of days, and people are super excited with this Wolverine brown suit. This is an exclusive version. This is from Hono Studio, and I'm telling you, the price on this one was around that, like 150, 180, I don't remember. It was not expensive. Not expensive at all. This is when I'm talking about 1.6, I'm talking about this. This is how you do it. And yes, you can see some of the articulation right there on there, the clothing. Yeah, you can see that cheaper articulation for sure. But that's fine. It's hidden with the clothing, with the, you know, with pants and stuff. It looks, I would tell you, only limited to 1,500 pieces worldwide. This is a really great figure. I do like it. It comes with a sword, you know, it comes with all the extra accessories. The one, the regular one, the yellow and blue, that was just recently released. People are super happy with that one. Very excited with that figure. You know, they love the figure. Minus some nitpicks and stuff, people are really happy. It's a great figure. So this one definitely has a brown custom. You know, they did some of the changes. It looks amazing. I like this here. This portrait is one of my favorites here. Of course, this anger that he is portraying. And I love the detail. They did a really nice job. That's a nice photograph too. Love the detail there. Now, this is, if there's something I'm going to complain about this figure, is this portrait. This with the open mouth. It's just ugly. That is the most ugly portrait they could have come up with. And this is the thing. They have all these beautiful portraits. And all of a sudden, this one is like, what the heck is that? It looks like an old man or something. That's Old Man Logan, a real Old Man Logan. But like, yeah, like that's, I don't know. I don't know, is maybe the angle? They need to tweak that portrait. That is the ugliest portrait ever. I'm not going to, if I'm going to, and definitely I want to get this one. I don't want to display like this. Now, this is the way I'm going to display it. With that anger, that berserk portrait face. That is what I want to do it with. And the Murasama sword, all of that, you know, that is a good one. That regular portrait looks amazing too. Has that, you know, the smirk, the, you know, the Wolverine attitude, like he's unafraid. He's gonna bust you for sure. And all of this, the accessories are great. That's another nice pose with the sword. That is a very nice one. Yeah, I would say this is great. And of course, we just came out from, you know, the Spider-Man. A lot of people hate it. And I want to say that I hate it. Some people kind of went to extreme. Of course, everybody loves to hate because that is always common in some way. That's how you go viral in videos nowadays. It seems like if you hate something, everybody kind of applauds you for that and you get more views. You know, I wouldn't say that it was the worst thing ever. That is the most terrible thing, like some people were saying. It was not the best. It definitely was. They dropped the ball on so many areas on that. It needs improvement. But the Wolverines that they have done, this one, for example, that Magneto, those are on a different level. You know, the other one is the cheaper version for sure. That Spider-Man needs some work. But this is you know, it's not bulky. Some people complain about the clothing, but it's a lot of things that could have been improved, and they need to be improved. But this one definitely looks really great. Now, the art in the back, that is Scott Campbell's cover. J. Scott Campbell, as I can see. But you can remove that and you can put your own cover, your own, you know, comic book magazine, whatever you want to change it. I would just have, and I love J. Scott Campbell's art, but I would have a different cover if I want to have the art there. So here you have the seamless muscular silicone arms. You got the Muramasa blade, the interchangeable lower faces. Again, that with the open mouth, that needs to go. They need to improve it, or they need to get rid of it. I think this is the one that nobody's going to use. I personally don't like it. And I think this is a really great piece. It's already sold out, unfortunately, or it's on the wait list, but wait until it comes out. Maybe it comes back again and there's going to be some available. Definitely there's going to be one that people are going to be super excited for. It looks great. I personally like it. I think this is one, it's a win. It's a one home run here. It's a home run. I'm super happy that they're doing this version, and let's see what else they come up. Maybe the next version they have is, I don't know, an X-Force version. Who knows? It seems that they're gonna milk Wolverine on this one. And to be honest, they can. You know, there's always that possibility. All right, so the next thing we're gonna cover another figure. I want to talk about Iron Man Mark III. This is another Hot Toys. This also went on the wait list. It was $400 when this was announced, which I don't think is a bad price. This is it was an exclusive event, exclusive for you know, over there for Hot Toys. So the versions are very, very limited. It's red and chrome version. And here, when you look at the figure, again, it has the light up features, really nice base. The chrome looks really nice on this. I prefer the more classic, but the chrome looks really, really good. And, you know, there's a lot of fans out there that love to have extra versions of things. They want to have every single armor possible. Look, the things that you can do. I think for this price, definitely Hot Toys continues to be the king of the 1/6 scale. Other companies are coming, of course. They're doing their own thing. You know, In Art and so many other companies are trying to kind of follow and have that momentum. Also building gray figures as well. Not denying it. But Hot Toys, for the price, and they are charging you a premium price, they still the kings of the 1/6. And, you know, this Iron Man, you know, figures are look amazing. The only thing that is missing is to have the portrait of Tony Stark or even the actor. That would be great, because of course these are based on the Marvel universe, the MCU. So definitely would be great to have Downey Jr. to have that portrait. Not on this one. Still looks great. It's a great armor and nice detail. The light up features. It's not a bad figure at all, and very nice price. Definitely whoever has it is very happy with it. Again, they are the kings. For one, this is the reason why Hot Toys is the king of the 1/6 scale. Figures like this, they do it better than anybody else. All right, so this is what we have. 4 figures, which is not necessarily that many figures today. Keep in mind that San Diego Comic-Con is coming, and when San Diego Comic-Con comes, definitely we're gonna see a lot of different things there with that. But I want to talk actually, while we're talking about figures, let me show you something here, and let me show you what Tamashii Nations is doing. We're gonna look at some models, but before we get into the model and the model craze, let me show you this figure right here that I was looking at. This figure, if you are a great Massinger fan, this is the more like the classic toys back in the day, but now on jumbo size. And Tamashii Nations is bringing this. This is $220 for the jumbo Machinder. This is, you know, to be honest with you, this is more for the people who kind of remember and grew up with this back in the 70s and the 80s. I grew up with Machinder. I remember as a kid watching Machinder. So I remember the toys. Back in the day, they were super hard to come by. Most of them, they came from Japan. They were imports, so it was like no easy to get while I was in Mexico. But I remember the show. So they have this jumbo figures, and it's kind of cool for the people that want to have the jumbo things. Of course, you know, Gentle Giant was doing jumbo figures of the, you know, for Star Wars. So there's always this, there's fans out there that love the jumbo figures, the jumbo size, a figure that is over scale, to bigger, of course. And this is something that is more of a toy, but bigger. And it's just more for display purposes. It's not like you're gonna play with it. It's kind of cool. You know, definitely it's not a bad looking figure if you're into jumbo. Definitely the price is steep, $220. Tamashii Nation's not, you know, like, it's a 23.6 inches tall. It is pretty tall, so that's another reason why the price, it's up there. So if you're into jumbo Machinder, into Great Messenger, this is a really nice figure for those who grew up, you know, watching the cartoon as kids, as I did. You know, one of the greatest anime shows of all time. Now, while I'm here, I want to talk about another thing that company has done. And the reason why I bring you more for Tamashii Nations, I want to look at this model. This is the Going Merry Memorial Edition. If you're a One Piece fan, this is a celebration, of course, of the 25th anniversary of One Piece anime. They are technically doing the boat, Luffy's boat, the Going Merry collectible. This is a very cool idea, $250. And now looking at the materials, trying to see what type of materials they list here. I don't know if it's plastic or what, if it's some resin elements, but definitely this is a very cool model for One Piece fans. I love models. This one looks great. As you can see, it's just really nice. I love the base where they have it set up. It's a very cool, neat detail there. They also have these little things to go alongside. It's 11 inches tall, so it's not that big of a model. It's within the same height of a, you know, 1/6 scale figure. It's not that big, but it's so nicely, neatly done. And look and see the Luffy and all the crew here in this little boat that you can use for display. That is very cool. It says Going Merry. I like that it has the title. You can change also the sale, so you can see the One Piece sale, the 25th anniversary. So this is definitely as a memorial. This is a collectible to celebrate that moment. You can break the ship, as you can see on display. That is very cool. Like the detail, Luffy right there, the like, tiny little figurine to go on top. Very cool figure. Here you can see all the guys. Oh wow. Very nice. They did a really nice job with this one for sure. The details here. And this is just to give you an idea of the scale, right next to some figures produced also by Tamashii Nations for One Piece. Just to give you a sense of reference with the scale. So yeah, it's not a big you know, display. It's not a big figure model, but this model will sit so well in any type of display, so you don't really need to worry about, oh, do you have a space or not. It's going to fit, and it's gonna look, you know, it doesn't have to be like, you know, the size of the figures. Yeah, that would be great that you have the space, but definitely looks good on a display in the background just by a standalone figure, or putting figures on the side. It's gonna look good. So they're giving you a visual reference here. It looks great in my opinion. This is a very neat idea from Tamashii Nations. They definitely did a really nice job. The box is even not big. The box height is 6 inches. The width is 12 inches. The depth is 15 inches. So it seems to me that perhaps everything's going to come separated. You have to put all things together. They did a neat job in putting all the things together for sure. So this is a great thing here. All right, let me drink some water so I can take you to the next figure, or in this case, the next model. It's a big one that I want to talk about today. And for that, I'm gonna take you to Facebook. To Tomy Plus Insiders Club. This is a new group that was formed. And this is because Tomy is doing another Enterprise, but this is going to be the USS Enterprise NCC 1701 from Star Trek The Motion Picture. This is the refit model that was done for the movie. This is going to be a 1/350 model, which is the same scale as the previous one, so it's going to be the same size. And it went right away. It was announced on Facebook this week, and right away it just gained so much momentum. People have signed up. You sign up, you become part of this group, and now I'm part. Like right now, you can see there's 2.1, thousand members on this group. People are really interested on this. Of course, if you remember with the Enterprise, that was a buzz at the beginning trying to get it done, because Tomy it was trying to do this more premium thing, the Prestige, as they call it, the ERTL Prestige or Tomy Prestige, and they kind of evolved from that, and now they call it Tomy Plus, more like an insiders club. So that was their first try. They didn't promote it as they should have. They learned their lesson, and they did a much better job with the which is coming sometime this year, the DeLorean 110 scale, which I also pre-order, and I'm waiting for that. But now, I was surprised that because at some point we thought that they would never, they kind of hinted, or they said, well, we would like to, but we don't think, because it seems that they didn't make as much money as they needed to. There was a lot of investment into it. There was a lot of losses that happened when they were doing the Enterprise. So they couldn't just, it was not as a good business in some way, although I think all the collectors who got it benefited greatly from it. This is now slightly sold out. It's selling for a lot of money. You're paying $2,000 in the aftermarket for that model. It's a great model. I got rid of mine. I sold it. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I was trying, I needed the money because, of course, I'm always buying stuff. I need collectibles, and I need this, and I need that, things that I normally take care of. I try to take care of all that stuff. So I got rid of it. I sold it for over $2,000 easily on an auction. Not a problem. I got the money, and it was done. Done deal. I felt so bad, and I said, man, after that, when I'm packing it, and I said, why did I get rid of it? At the same time, my space is so limited that I cannot really have it when I have so much stuff's coming and I don't have space for it. So I'd say kind of parted ways. Well, I'm just wiping my tears with the money, and I let it go. It's just the way it is. It's life, whatever. Down the road I might be able to get it again. Who knows? So there's gonna be a better version, and I'll get it. I enjoyed the time that was on display. I enjoyed it, but now it's time to let it go because other things are coming, and that's life. I'm not going to cry for things that are old. I just moving on. Life is every day. Some people can hold on to things. I don't. I get to the point in my life where I say, you know what? It was nice. It was a nice relationship. It's time to move on. So I got rid of it. But now this is bringing me back to feel like, okay, this is another one that looks great. And to be honest, it's really good. Of course, like they created this group. It's a private group right here. All the members and all that stuff. They do, there's a lot of things that are happening in this group. There's a lot of discussions right now. People are, it's getting a little bit crazy too. Like a lot of people are just throwing a lot of things into why, because they're looking at these photos that were used just for model purposes. The ones for advertisement, they already nitpicking about this and that. I'm telling you, it's crazy. This group is crazy. Like every time I've been part last year with the DeLorean, it was the same thing. People got crazy. People get demanding. A lot of these people are not they love things. They're diecast. I will tell you, diecast collectors can be probably worse than statue collectors, and statue collectors are tough. They're like type of people that complain about everything. Diecast collectors, in my experience over the years, and I've been a diecast collector far longer than a statue collector, I'm telling you, they can be very nasty. And they're like nitpick about everything, and they nitpick about the price. They want perfection. And to be honest with you, if you look at this, when you go there, you sign up to the information that they provide, it's gonna be around $600. $5.99. People complain about the price. I telling you, the price is not a problem. I think the price is good for a model like this. Now, it's not the final model. While we're looking here on this, let me see Instagram. It's just a prototype, and as a prototype, more than likely is this one. Let me see. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't know if they have it here. They don't have it in there. All right, so whatever. You know, they still on this Tomy Plus thing, they try to get all this stuff. I was looking at the part of their website, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, these are the rules. I want to look at the pictures. I want their pictures, but I don't want to look at the pictures from people who are... I want to look at the official pictures. Let's see if we can get to that. Or at least the pictures that they have showcased so far. Of course, we got this one. We saw this one. This is another part of the day. It's going to be included with the model that was shown. This is a picture of the model in the front. I think it looks really neat. Of course, this is just a prototype. On the nose, they have said that this is going to be fully die-cast. The base is going to be fully die-cast, which is a better idea because of the original Enterprise. It was plastic, and that was necessarily very sturdy. So now with the die-cast base, it's going to give more stability. So hopefully, it seems that they learned from all the mistakes that were made on the first one, and they're going to improve that. That doesn't mean that once you set up the Enterprise model sits there perfectly. It doesn't rock, you know, it doesn't bend if you know how to do it right. But here, of course, it takes more stability, so I think they're doing that. Yeah, on this type of pose like this, on this situation, might not be as stable. Keep in mind that this is more than likely a resin model. And as a resin model, still gonna need some work around it. They're gonna have to do some changes, some adjustments. So this might not be the final base or the look of the base. It's gonna have light up features. Difference from the original Enterprise, which in this case used batteries. This is going to be USB power. It's not gonna have a USB cable. You're gonna have to provide that, but it's gonna be USB power, which is a much better deal. Here it's another thing. Of course, you know, we can nitpick here. The details, people are already trying to nitpick the lightings and the fuselage and the colors and all that. Again, you're looking at a model. You're looking at just a prototype. The same happened with the Enterprise. The same happened with the original Enterprise. The same happened with the DeLorean. They were only prototypes, resin prototypes that they have to be technically transformed into die-cast models. And there's changes that have to happen and improvements. Are they going to open the canopy in the back? I don't know. That would be great too. The light up. But yeah, looking at it from all the different angles, you can clearly see it's just a preliminary model. Still not fully functional, and I would say even the paint is not at the point it needs to be. Now looking at the finger here, what he's doing is more than likely you're gonna be able to move it, or maybe it's going to be used as a way to you're gonna be able to open this perhaps, or maybe that's how you're gonna control the light ups. I don't know. And you're gonna be able to attach that there, which is great. And of course, people were posting their own pictures and stuff, and you know, the details. But I think that so far Tomy was doing really neat with the details here. You know, people already making comparisons, like you can see that the lights are not accurate and all that. Of course, again, this is just a model, and I'm telling you, the same thing happened with the Enterprise. Look at these pictures of this model. You know, I'm telling you, that model is amazing. Now I feel bad for selling it, but at the same time, you know, it's a great investment. Even at $2,000 is worth the money. You know, whoever bought it, the guy who bought it for me, he was super happy. You know, I follow after him. You know, I pack my stuff well. I always make sure everything is done. I put new batteries on the side, good batteries. I pack it perfectly. I didn't want to have any issues with it. And the guy was super happy, super stoked with it. He was to the moon. He was like, "Oh, this is the most beautiful thing in my display." So I'm telling you, it is a really nice thing. And they did it. You know, they did it. So I'm confident that they're gonna be able to do something very similar. This is something that somebody showed from a different model. This is a bigger model, a different model. There's many models that have been from this. So we'll see. Look at this guy's putting some glue there, or some, not glue, I'm sorry, like some soap so they can stick the thing. Though it sounds kind of, it looks kind of iffy. But again, this is a model. The way he's holding it, I can feel that it's not as heavy, because I'm telling you, the other one was 20 pounds. This is not 20 pounds that he's carrying. He's carrying like if it's only maybe 10 or maybe less. Half of the weight. The other one is going to be super heavy. It was 20 pounds. It was, you know, I'm not saying 20 pounds are, you know, they're not like, oh my God, you know, like they're complicated, you know, you can carry it, but you have to exert a little more, you know, strength when you're doing it. So really excited for this one. Again, this is going to be released on August. Look at this other model. These are models that have been done for the original. So people were sharing all kind of pictures. There's so much. And again, I'm trying to see if I can find the place. Oh, right there. Tomy Plus right here. Okay, actually, this is the page which I should have been. Tomy Plus. This is their page, not the group. And here you can see more pictures. Very nice light up. You can see the lights. Very cool on the model. An official licensed replica with dozens of intricate details. He has the light up in the back. Great. And he's holding it. It looks nice. I will tell you the model. Again, this is more than likely a resin model, so it's not as heavy. It's not die cast. So keep that in mind. What changes are going to happen here? I don't know. We don't know yet. But they're definitely going to make a number of changes. So looking at what they have done so far, I'm impressed. And you know, Tomy Plus is the new, technically what they rebrand themselves to the website. I can see it now. Thankfully, I found the website now. Let's wait for this to taking a little bit of time just to pop. Here we can come here. In the meantime, they also have, actually here they have now the direct Instagram. Only 9 posts with the same pictures that we just saw. Intriguing. So yeah, I would say, I'm telling you, keep an eye on it. Sign up for it. Come here to the link where there is Tomy Plus _ or you go to Facebook Tomy Plus. Just really sign up. This is just the website Tomy Plus here. This is, of course, this is what was called the Prestige Select. And of course the entertainment side when you go to Prestige, which is not Tomy Plus. It's Back to the Future. Waiting on this one. This one definitely was fully funded back in 2022. So yeah, I would say so. I'm definitely excited for this one. It's going on pre-order on. They're gonna have their own. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Last year with the DeLorean, they did use Kickstarter. I think they're going to move themselves from Kickstarter and they're gonna do a totally separate system as they did originally. But I think they're going back to their own. Of course, we'll see what happens. I prefer for them to do it separate from Kickstarter. I'm not necessarily a fan of Kickstarter, although I support Kickstarters. I'm just not necessarily a fan of the way Kickstarter handles the situation, the tier system and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's never been my cup of tea. I'd rather have them, like the companies, doing directly on their pre-order sites and being able to go there and deal directly with them instead of trying to deal with Kickstarter. Because then, of course, you got to depend on Kickstarter for all the news and stuff like that. Because that's what happened with the DeLorean. Technically, you're getting information through Kickstarter, not necessarily through, in this case, through Tomy. So we'll see. You know, excited for this one. Very intrigued. If you're a fan of Star Trek, keep an eye on it. Of course, we're going to talk about it when the time comes. When it goes on pre-order, we'll go on the details. But again, this is going to be around $5.99, $6.99 maybe. Somewhere, it's $600 if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be around the same price as the other one was. So yeah, definitely I think it's going to. Moving on now, you know, we dedicated a little bit of good time here. I want to move on now to a little bit into the statue side. Now we go into the statues. And I want to really cover, I want to talk, actually on Facebook, I want to talk about McFarlane. Here, McFarlane Toys again, as always, you know, Todd is a guy that does, you know, like, he does crazy things, you know, he's always crazy. And you see all the figures, you know, great figures, by the way, you know, like, for example, I was looking at this figure going on pre-order, the Red Hood, the original classic Red Hood. I figure looks good, in my opinion. I don't like all the figures from McFarlane, but this one, even with the, it seems like he has gloves or so. It looks really, really cool. Not a bad figure. So I will tell you, Todd has always fun with the figures. He has fun. He has no, you know, look at this one, for example, this other figure, the Clock King. You know, he's going through the obscure characters now. And, you know, not all figures are winners in my book. Sometimes the proportions are kind of crazy the way he does it, but you know, kind of cool. But the reason why I come here is because these figures, as you can see, they're releasing now the highly anticipated 110 figures. Let me show you what they have. Let me start first going down. This Wolverine is going to be 110. It's going to be on pre-order on July 18th, so it's going to pre-order next week. We're going to talk about it next week, and we're going to have probably more photographs to show, which is great. These are PVC. This is the new line that he signed out. We talked about it when he was announced. So this is one of the ones that is going on pre-order based on the art of Jim Lee. Of course, he's using those covers, and he's using on X-Men #1 with Jim Lee. And this, it looks great. I'm telling you, for PVC, it's not a bad. It's a 110 scale. So if you're a 110 collector, this is very, very nice. Some people would say that the shade, in this case, the colors or the shading is a little too heavy, more cartoony. But of course, this is the attempt here. He's trying to replicate the covers and the inking of the covers with these little figures. I wish in this case, his claws were not as plasticky looking. It looks like they're very plasticky. They're not fine. I wish this would be very nice if he was actually made out of resin. If it was like, instead of PVC, it was made out of like the same with iron, with the same Iron Studios material, polystone, would be fantastic. Maybe with metallic claws, you know, I definitely would pay more money for it. But I think he's going for a wider market. We don't know the price yet, what they're gonna do. That's the only complaint that I have with this figure. That you can see some of the lines here on this model. Maybe it's a prototype, but definitely with PVC is more visible. So it's not at the same quality level of other PVC companies. I will tell you, I've seen some of the McFarlane figures or the statues in PVC. They're fine for what they are, but you know, they're not at the same level of, you know, Kotobukiya, for example, or other companies that produce that. Now there's another one. This is Iron Man, classic Iron Man cover, Iron Man 126. With Bob Layton. This is a very nice one too. They went for that one. Of course, I will tell you, if you want something better than this, more premium, they go for the Bowen designs. That is a 1/6 scale, 1/7, technically 1/8, because this one is still Bowen was the smaller figures. That is better, but this is not bad. The cover, of course, they use everything's a little more plasticky. It's still a good representation. One of my favorite covers. I even have the poster somewhere or something with that particular cover. I love that. I do love. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, again, the quality, it's PVC, but not the best quality PVC in my opinion. Now, this is the other one that they have is Deadpool 110. This is Deadpool based on the art of Rob Liefeld. As you know, he was introduced in New Mutants. It looks, to be honest, they did a really nice job in having this cover 98 of the New Mutants. It looks like, you know, the work of Rob Liefeld. Like, it's just like spot on. They did a really nice job with this one. Looking forward to the movie, of course. Deadpool is going to be popular, so I think this is going to be probably one of the ones that's going to be very popular and it's going to sell very quickly. So again, it's going to be available on July 18 at select retailers. So I don't know exactly where, but it seems like it's going to be around. Now, another 110 that was announced is this Spider-Man 110. And this is for Spider-Man #6 cover by Todd McFarlane. This is when Spider-Man in the 90s, of course, Todd got his own run, which was Spider-Man, not Amazing Spider-Man. He was doing Amazing Spider-Man, then he was doing his own run. And this is cover #6. And as you can see, they use it for the art there. And it looks really, really neat. And this is the same where I think Spider-Man is there also with Wolverine on the cover. So, but they chose Spider-Man and they did a really nice job. The only thing I would not like is, of course, is that the rod that is holding in the air. But the itself, the figure really represents the art. It's really, really spot on with the art of Todd McFarlane. So that is a really neat one. So there's other figures, of course. Here at Warhammer 40K, there was a lot of figures that were announced. But I want to show you where really, those are great if you're a 110 collector. Now, the things that really are interested, and I'm skipping all this Warhammer 40K stuff. I like, you know, I've actually been playing Warhammer for what is that? The Warhammer Ultramarine, the classic game on my PC. I've been playing it lately. I've been playing it, waiting on the new one to come out. This is stuff that was announced here. Of course, seeing a lot of these figures are great. But the reason I'm here is these two figures. We have Captain America, which was announced. This is based on the art also of Todd McFarlane on this classic cover, The Amazing Spider-Man 323. And it looks, this is going to be, the difference from the other ones, which are 110, this is 1/6. So I would more intrigue with this because of the scale. I'm not sure how they're going to pair. They look a lot better. This one looks great. I do love what they're doing with this one. I love the drawing on his costume. It's just like coming, it's straight out of the comic book, and I'm all for it. I really liking what they're doing here. Cap looks great. Super pumped with this one. I'm not sure how the price is going to be. Where are you going to be able to find it? And just looks great. I do like it, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't say that Captain America, they thought I like his Captain America, the way he did Captain America. I'm not necessarily crazy about this style, but I do love that they're actually going for the comic book look. And this is something that, unfortunately, we don't get to see much nowadays. Most companies are doing more their own style, their own interpretation of things, more modern take on things. And it's nice to be able to go back to the comic book style, something that we don't seem to, it seems like we're not seeing as much anymore. So I'm glad that companies are going into that route because, of course, since Bowen left, it's like companies are just doing their own thing. But this is great. This is going back to those roots. And this is the other one that I'm super excited. Another 1/6. This is the second one that is also going. And this is the Amazing Spider-Man 301. And this classic cover. Also the same art that I was used, of course, on the Omnibus, the Amazing Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane cover. And this is great. And I love how they did the spider web. The webbing, they're using this kind of like clear PVC. It looks so great. They did a really nice job with this one. Super excited for that one. It is just spot on the art of Todd McFarlane. The only other statue in 1/6 scale that I ever thought that, that I always assumed, the only other statue, not only 1/6 but in any scale, that resembles Todd McFarlane's art is the one that was done by Eric Sosa for Kotobukiya. One that I one that I reviewed on the channel many years ago, many years at the beginnings of this channel, 10 years ago, I reviewed that one. And it's a fantastic piece. It's just, in my mind, that was the perfect representation of Todd McFarlane. Still a hard to come by statue. Really, people really love it. Fantastic. But I think, with all due respect, to Eric, I think this is better than his statue. It looks a lot better because of the way it is. I think the pose, the artist who was involved in this did a fantastic job. He translated that cover perfectly into this form, and it looks fantastic. Even though it's the only downfall of the statue at this scale is the fact that it's PVC and it's not, resin. But even as PVC, there's great pieces that are made out of PVC. I have Kotobukiya's pieces of PVC are fantastic. So I will tell you, this is still, it's gonna be great. And I love what they're doing with this one. I love this one. Perhaps the bases are one of the downfalls of this statues, but we're gonna talk about it once they go on pre-order next week. We'll talk about them, we will cover them, we will really discuss them and really share my opinion in reference to everything they're doing here. But yeah, this is what McFarlane is doing. Super pumped for McFarlane. Definitely they continue to be, the company still continues to be the king of the hill when a lot of things that he does with his company, he does amazing, and definitely my respect for him. So okay, so we got that done, and at the moment I think I'm done for this. I want to take a break. It's an hour already. When I come back, we have still more to go. We got we're gonna go to Sideshow. We're gonna talk about a lot of the stuff at Sideshow. We'll talk about Enesco, Star Ace Toys, Megahouse, Kotobukiya, Proof, Hex Collectibles, Wuji Studio, Trieagles Studio, Prime1 Studio, of course, and we're gonna talk about Sideshow Con. So give me a few minutes, taking a break, and I'll be right back. Again, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel. Just let me know what you think about the pieces that we have covered so far. I would like to hear your opinion. So see you in a bit.
one. So stay with me. Together we'll fall apart.
It got me thinking now, should I take it or leave it out? It got me thinking now, and now I'm stuck in this loop again. It got me thinking now, should I take it or leave it out? What would happen if I talk to you? Got a feeling that I get a clue. Would you be my Fortnite? Would you be my Fortnite? It got me thinking now, should I take it or leave it out? It got me thinking now, and now I'm stuck in this loop again. It got me thinking now, should I take it or leave it out? What would happen if I talk to you? Got a feeling that I get a blue. Would you be my Fortnite? What would happen if I talk to you? Would
Hey guys, thank you for being here. Hey, late night trip, good stuff, always great information for all collectors. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You know, try to, I do it for fun, but also I know it helps some people. And that's the purpose of what we do here, is to help fans and collectors and friends and the community. Also boost some companies to let customers, because sometimes the problem with a lot of collectors is that sometimes we're just fixated into one thing or one company or whatever. We think that that's it. There's the only thing out there. And it's always good to be able to see other things that besides just what we love, and to see what companies are doing and how that it's actually changing. To me, it's such an amazing experience to see these companies evolve over time, and the art evolve over time, and the collectibles become more and more intricate, with so much detail. And I don't know, I love it. I just love all this stuff, so cannot stop it. I keep doing and talking about those things. But I want to welcome everyone again. Thank you very much for whoever stops by. Don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel, to the video. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. Say hello. I want to welcome everyone, whether you're watching this now or in the future. Thank you for your support. All right, let's get into it, and let's go back to let me go back here, but we're gonna go to Sideshow. And while I'm Sideshow, I want to talk about something that I normally don't really dedicate much time to talk about, but I think I seen, of course, that Sideshow's been very it's been doing, which is great in my opinion. It's kind of nice that they're doing that. I'm talking about Enesco. For those who are unfamiliar with Enesco, look at all these little figures right here. Every figure that you hear is produced by a company called Enesco. Enesco's been in business for a very long time. They have done, technically, if I'm not mistaken, Enesco owns Hallmark, but they produce so many different collectibles, figurines, that you can find in Hallmark, anything that has to do with this. I was recently in Detroit. I was on vacation with the family. We went to Detroit, went to the museum, the Ford Museum, which is technically American innovation. It's amazing. You have ever been? I recommend you ever been in Detroit? Go to that museum, to the Ford Museum, Henry Ford Museum, and technically the museum is of all the American technology and innovation, and it's everything. And there was, I'm not sure it's a permanent thing, but they had a Hallmark presentation, a room full of Hallmark stuff for over the years, and it was amazing. Look at all these little detail figurines. It was great. I really love it. It was fantastic. So I recommend that. It's not only thing. You can see American cars, trains, so many things. They even have like a huge model train system. It was great. So it's a great museum that you can enjoy in Detroit, Michigan. So we were there. So in any case, I'm gonna talk about the newest. As you can see, everything that they have. They even have Hello Kitty. If you're a fan of Hello Kitty, so they have a lot of also Warner Brothers stuff. You name it. But I will talk about now. I want to talk about the newest stuff they have on pre-order. So they have all this Disney stuff, as you can see. Like they got the Cinderella pictures, and this is great. For example, for things that you can give to your daughter. Girls love this kind of thing. My wife loves it. She loves these type of things. Like the precious moments. My sister-in-law collects all that. So yeah, every time we get a chance, we give her something like that. And this is very, very cool for a Disney person, particularly a girl. These are really great. Like you can see the Cinderella. They're not big figures, very tiny. It's 8.46 inches tall. But it's a nice detail. And there's out there, you'll be surprised how many people are there collecting it. Look at this light up Stitch and Angel. This is a very cool one. This is $85. Very nice detail. My daughter used to love Lilo and Stitch, so this would be something that she definitely would love. Sorry, I definitely would be something that I would definitely give to her as a gift. She will be happy. Very cool. So, this is the thing that, they're tiny little figurines, but these figurines, and there's different sizes and scale. Look at this Rapunzel Deluxe. This one is $200. This is a bit larger than the others. Very neat. Also, 14.5 inches tall. So it's a lot larger than 1/6. It's more in line with the 1/5 scale. But it's not a bad, figurine that you can use. A lot of this stuff is made out of, just to kind of give you an idea of the materials. It's made out of what there is. I don't think it's porcelain. And this is the Jim Shore Disney Traditions collection. It's made out of resin. So yeah, it's pretty hefty, and I think it's a pretty nice one. And the Jim Shore is, people love to collect that collection, particularly from Enesco. It's so highly sold out. People go buy it, like there's a lot of collectors out there of this one. This another one here with Ting Spring Swing. Very cool. Let me lower the music a little bit here. But here, this 8.63 inches. That is a pretty cool one too. This is definitely a nice display for like a desk. So I really like that. The detail is very neat. Many of these are also figurines. You can find them if you go to Disney World or Disneyland. Any of there, you go to the Disney store, you'll find them there too. They have them there. But Sideshow's been carrying them now for a little bit. Look at this one, for example. This is another Vanessa Vanity scene with Ursula. This is price is $100. This is the figurine, kind of this is a very cool figurine for sure. The little mirror there, 10.83 inches tall. So yeah, again, made out of resin, looks very neat. Very unique. These figurines are unique for sure. And we're gonna look at, I'm gonna skip some of them, Hello Kitty and all that. I'm gonna look at this Pinocchio, and this is another one that just went on pre-order, $175. Also part of the Jim Shore, part of the Enesco Jim Shore collection. Here, look at this Pinocchio, 15.30 inches tall. That's a pretty good size, hefty size. Very nice depiction of Pinocchio, of course, as has been depicted in the Disney movies. Very cool depiction, very cool detail there on this one. Definitely this is for the Disney fans. There are many, like all of us, we grew up with Disney, so in one way or another. So it's great to see this thing. Again, Enesco, Jim Shore collection, all of this, very neat to use. Look at all these pre-orders. Like this, for example, this Stitch and Scrump figurine. Very cool. Different detail. 11.5 inches tall. So yeah, again, they're doing all of this. Enesco Jim Shore collection, definitely there. Look at all the stuff, a lot of the stuff that we have seen on pre-order. You got Pooh with Honey Pod, Snoopy too. They also have Snoopy things. Botanical Maleficent, Botanical Snow White. Part of that is a different collection. Santa Jack with lights. Look at all this. Lion King. That one, all of that stuff is sold out. But yeah, look at this. All this stuff has been sold out. We talked about Cinderella when it was announced. But yeah, look at this. They're very popular. This is also sold out. This wall with Mickey Mouse. That was a great figurine. Very nice figurine. So yeah, there's definitely a fan base out there. And they've been selling, and here at the Sideshow, they've been selling really, really well. So yeah, you're interested, you can come here, you can come to other stores, but definitely Sideshow is always a good place to go for stuff like this. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to actually use two different sites to get into this one. Because I want to talk about Star Ace Toys. But before I get there, hopefully I got it to the right place. Okay, latest release is right there. You know, Sideshow has become technically a distributor of so many different companies, which is something that they've been, you know, producing, you know, with a lot of pride, if you can say that. But I want to talk about, I'm going to take you actually to Big Bad Toy Store. We're going to go to Big Bad Toy Store because there I saw it, and this is right here. This is a new pre-order. We're talking about statues. This is from Star Ace Toys. Star Ace has been producing, and of course you can see that they also have this at Sideshow, but at Sideshow they have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, the burning one. There's two different versions of that. $189, which I don't think is a bad price, but you can also get this figures, these vinyl figures here at Big Bad Toy. So we're gonna stay at Big Bad Toy because here they have the full package. What they're doing here, Star Ace release this statues, as you can see, of the Ghostbusters, like as you can see right here. Like for example, we got Winston Sedamore right here. These are 1/8 scale statues. Winston is $244. Now this, if I'm not mistaken, look at the materials. They are made out of polyresin, so they're polystone. They're 8.6 inches tall. Again, they're 1/8, and there's in celebration of the 4th anniversary of the original film. And as you can see, they look okay. I'm not gonna tell you that they're like super, like, oh my god, it blows me away. And go back to the notes. It says, we have Snow White, Jim Shore, same size as the Rapunzel. Very well done pieces for the money. I think Jim Shore does amazing figures, great prices, and they're super cool, you know, for Disney fans. I don't think, you know, like I'd rather go with Enesco and Jim Shore stuff than, you know, getting the stuff that it's for, you know, like Iris is doing right now, 1/10 scale stuff. That's overpriced in my opinion. They're crazy with the prices. Go with Jim Shore. Go with Enesco. All right. So, and again, you know, Jim Shore collection, the company is Enesco, but Jim Shore collection has been well known. Technically, it was even before Enesco. Before Enesco bought Jim Shore, technically they still continue with the collection. All right. So going back to the Ghostbusters here, I will say the likeness, it's all right. The base, I'm not crazy about the way they're doing this base. Of course, you know, they do the marshmallow stuff, all of that. The symbol, you know, I think it's overly done to have the symbol of the Ghostbusters as the base. It's been done to death with a lot of statues lately. And the portrait needs work. Yes, it's 1/8, so still, I feel that even Iron Studios did a better job with the 1/10, which is a little smaller than this. So yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of it. The detail seems fine. I just feel that portrait needs work. They need to do some work. And here you can see the other figurines or the other statues in this collection from the other guys. I will tell you that Egon looks better and Ray looks better. Peter Venkman doesn't look that great. Bill Murray doesn't look great. But here you can see the others. At least they're gonna really represent the cover. You know, not the cover, but if you see the original, you know, the poster with the 3 guys, and of course now they added Winston to the mix. But this is technically how you remember the poster of the film. Of course, here you can see the other things that you can do. They already created some other figurines to go alongside it, so definitely you can kind of build the whole thing. Of course, we're gonna see the Marshmallow Man, Stay Puft in just a moment. The vinyl figure that is gonna really sit well with this one. So that really gives you an idea of this one. Now, when you look at Peter Venkman, this is where the likeness is a bit off from this angle. Again, the base not crazy about. Yeah, I just feel that the detail is missing. Some of the likeness is not that great. Even some of the paint job requires a little more detail. It seems a little bit off. So yeah, Peter Venkman definitely not my favorite on this one, and it seems that they're displaying without the base on this picture here. So I'm not sure if you can actually remove them. Possible. Now you can also get here as a package Venkman. You can buy them together. if you want to. The other two haven't been released, if I'm not mistaken. They will be released at some point. The first two are released, and you can get them like that. So yeah, and you know, look at the fry features. Those are great. I remember as a kid. But here are other things that they have done, of course. Other figurines of all the stuff that is coming here. Actually, here you have it. They were previously released. You got Ray stands, and you have Egon Spangler. Here, Ray. I think Ray looks great. The likeness is great. The base, I'm not crazy, but the portrait in this figure, in this statue, is right on point in my opinion. This is perhaps the better, one of the best ones there. $249. You can buy this set. Now look at Egon. That is another home run in my opinion. This is definitely the right portrait. It's just spot on. They did a really nice job in capturing him. Even the nose, everything. It looks really great. So this art, in my opinion, the best in this one. And here, looking at Ghostbusters stuff. Trying to see if I can separate here on the company. Right there, Star Ace. So here, this is what we have. Of course, we already have the other vinyl figures that they released. They have been releasing vinyl stuff for this collection. We also have the vinyl figure for Slimer on this scale. $144, which I think it was a bit overpriced in my opinion. It is not even resin as the others. This is vinyl. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. At least it's going to be within the same scale. Or, you know, within the... You can create a display with that. This is in stock. It's already available, so it's already been released. Or you also have the one that... You can buy a package also with the, you know, the Soul... here, one of the dogs, of course. And this is another vinyl piece. So yeah, you can come up with a display with all of this. So in that end, I would say it's really cool that they're doing that. And they made out of vinyl, it's kind of neat. So that you know, helps with the price. At least you're not spending as much on those. Like, technically, those characters that they go as accessories in some way. They did have a soft vinyl figure, which already sold out for the Marshmallow, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. This was pretty cool. I like this one. This is like when it was introduced. Very nice with the portraits, interchangeable portrait. So that was very cool. So now they come up with a new version. If you missed out on this one, of course, you got the hands and all that on this one. If you missed out on this one, then now they're releasing two new versions with the fire damage. Oh no, actually they have the normal version here. This was the deluxe version with the extra portrait. This is the regular version. They have it available here. So now they have the two versions, one deluxe and one regular for the burning edition. Like, they got caught on fire. So look at this one, for example. This is the regular. This is also available at Sideshow. 30 centimeters tall, so it's pretty tall. Just to give you an idea, I don't remember exactly how many inches. If you come here at Sideshow, so you're looking at almost 12 inches, you know, 12 inches right there. So it's gonna go well with the display. It doesn't have to be like super life size. It can be just smaller size. It still does well, but here you can see has the burning. It's a little bit more angry on this one. So you can see the extra hands. Still like the original, but this one is also another alternative. Made out of vinyl. Or you can go for the deluxe version, which actually seems to have like light of feature in it. You know, like it just more bright. You can see the burning. So if you want something a little more prestige or prestigious, if you can call it that, then you go for this one on this deluxe. Again, it's a soft vinyl. It has the extra portrait. I like that portrait. It's kind of cool. So yeah, this is something that is coming and completing this line. Again, I'm not necessarily a fan of the portraits for Beckman and Sedamore. I do like the ones for, you know, for Spangler and Stans. But I don't know. I think they did a better job with those than with the newer ones. But yeah, if you're interested in completing this collection and building this collection, you can come to Big Bad Toy Store. They have them here. Or you can go to Sideshow. They only have the Marshmallow Men, unfortunately, as far as I know. When you come here, they definitely don't have them there. Oh, they may have it, man. I may be mistaken. Look at this Ghostbuster. Actually, they do have them. And I think I kind of miss on that. They do have him there at Sideshow. Okay. So, but they're on the wait list here. Which you don't have that problem over there at Sideshow. So, yeah. So, at least I would say Big Bad Toy Store. You can still get them. They're still available in pre-order. At Sideshow, they're sold out. They do have, of course, now Venkman and Sedamore. And the Marshmallow Man, at least one of the versions. But, and they have Sulu, which is still there. And Sul, I'm sorry. And Slimer, they do have it for sale. So, yeah. And they have the deluxe version, actually, with Slimer. There's a deluxe version, I think, with food in his mouth. $165. And he does have, like, a light of LED illumination. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, there's a couple of things you can do with this. Kind of cool. That looks messy. So yeah, you can come to Sideshow. You can do it at Big Bad Toy Store. You can find them somewhere else. The options are there, but I would say act rapidly because it seems that they're selling quickly. So we'll see. I don't know how long when are they going to release on this one, but it seems that some of them are available. Here's available at Sideshow, Big Bad Toy Store. They still have some in stock. Others not so much. So you have to choose. All right, my friends. So that's what we did with Star Ace Toys. Now let me move. Now we're going to here at Sideshow, and what we're gonna do now. Let me take you to the next company, and I'm gonna take you to Megahouse. Megahouse. If you're a fan of Evangelion, the Evangelion. Animation, whether the movie or the anime. This is Kaworu Nagisa. This is the 15th anniversary repeat. I think this is a figure that was already out and they're re-releasing. This is the precious gem figure of Kaworu Nagisa, seen in the Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time movie, celebrating the 15th anniversary, of the gem series. His large black wings, which can be removed, frame his body while he stands on a stone above a pool of red holding his weapon. Don't miss your chance to order the Kaworu Nagisa 15th anniversary repeat collectible figure. Okay, so this, again, is made out of PVC. Looking at the pictures, this is if you're a big fan of Evangelion. To be honest with you, I love Evangelion. I like the movies. I like the stuff. But I'm kind of lost in some of the movies, in the sense that I haven't really watched them all. I watched a good number of them. And I enjoy the art, of course. And this figure definitely has nice detail. Those wings are nice. The translucent PVC looks great. They as they mentioned, the wings are removable. You can take them out, although I think they looks great with the wings. It looks a lot better with the wings. But yeah, the base is kind of neat too. Very cool. I think that this looks very, very good for the price and the premium. The scale, I think it's somewhere around 1/8, if I'm not mistaken. Could be 1/8, 1/7, somewhere in between. So just based by the scale, but this, of course, keep in mind that the height, because he's standing on top of that, so definitely he's like a 1/8 or even a 1/7. So it's kind of cool. And talking about another scale, going now into the 1/7 scale, there's another company that does great stuff for PVC. That will be, they got this Pinkie Pie Bishoujo, $120. If you really like this, My Little Pony, then definitely this is $120 for this. It's colorful. I'm not a My Little Pony guy, but it's amazing how the Bishoujo line continues to give. It's the gift that keeps up giving from Kotobukiya. They're very consistent with it, and every year there's something new, and this is actually very colorful for the fans. Very cool. Definitely a nice gift for the Bishoujo fans or even for a girl. Very cool. My Little Pony. Pinkie Pie. Very nice detail. Definitely they did a really nice job with this one. I like, even though this has the little plastic you know, thing that is holding the boot, is holding like little peg. It's kind of invisible. It's not as you know, it's not obstruing. I just forgot the word. It's not as visible. It's not creating an obstruction of the feet and the base. It's great. I think that's something that I enjoy. I hate it when you see the big pegs, and it just kind of breaks that. And I like it that, you know, still Kotobukiya keeps it simple. They don't go with extra crazy poses that require for you to have a lot of different, you know, like little pegs, like, you know, little rods holding things. And I think that is, sometimes they do, but not always. And I think that Bishoujo line maintains that standard look, and I think it's great. You know, if you're a Bishoujo line, yeah, we can complain about the price. Bishoujo seems to be more expensive now than ever was. You know, back in the day, you can buy this for like the $50. Now it's 120. But you know, let's keep in mind that everything has gone up in price. It still is another addition to the Bishoujo line, and definitely fans, I'm sure, are happy with this one. Now, the next company I want to talk about, this company I had never really discussed, and here at Sideshow, they had this company called Proof Collectibles. Maybe I talked about him before. I don't know. I talk about so many things. It's hard for me always to keep up. But if you are a fan of Nier Automata, the video game, then definitely you're here for a good one. This is a 1/7 scale. There's two different figures. They got this Jorha number 9 type S. Let me show you this one. This is very, I would say it's cool. Now, looking at this one, I think these are made out of, if I'm not mistaken, they are made out of PVC. Yeah, ABS, PVC, and it has iron. Okay, so it has some metallic parts. So, you know, this character, this kid in the game, it does have like interchangeable portraits, it seems, or like the eyes have the bandana, the covering the eyes. It's a very nice figure. Looking at it, the way they did the base is nice, the pose is nice, very nice concept. It does have that clear base that a lot of these PVC statues have, like very clear. It's boring in some way, but it's not as boring because it's just the stand itself. The other parts that go on top of it, just kind of, it secures all the other parts of the base. So, and that I can give him. It's not just that he's standing on the clear base. It is something on top of that clear stand, and the base is on top of the clear stand. Very cool elements, and with the portrait, without, you know, the different portrait, looks great. Very neat. That's a huge sword. Nice detail. Very nice. Also, of course, this is from a Square Enix. This is something that I would say this company Proof. The price I will go, you know, it's an expensive price. It's $225. It's a 1/7 scale. It could be cheaper, but I like the detail on this one. It seems to be kind of neat. Now, the one that in my opinion is better, and I'm sure that people are gonna have both, but I think Jorha number 2 type B, which is the main character in the game, the main character you're gonna play with. I love what they did with this figure. Very nice detail. Of course, if you want something more premium, go with Prime1 Studio. Prime1 Studio did a phenomenal touch, probably the best ever representation of this character. But this one, sorry, very great. It's 12.2 inches because it's counting the sword to the top. Look at the portraits, very nice detail all around. They chose a very nice pose. That base really works great with it. Very neat. Very nice detail on this one. I love this figurine, and I think they did a fantastic job with the representation, the intricate detail. Again, look at the clear resin. It's just not the base, it's just the stand that brings and gives support to the base. The only thing you might say of, or that might not like, is of course that rod that sustained that little robot, that the companion, forgot the name of it. That is the only thing that perhaps breaks the visualization of this, or the thing. because it's like so clear right there. It looks so tacky in some way. But look at this. The money shot right there in the back. They knew what they were doing with this figure when they tried. Of course, you know, it's a video game. You have played this game. So it's kind of cool though. This is the angle to display it, in my opinion. This is the best angle to do so. Very nice. And I would say price, it's all right. Now, to give you an idea of what this company does, Proof Collectibles, we're going to come here and I'm going to show you the things that we have seen. We got this Inuyasha, which looks amazing, by the way. This collectible figurine as well. I think this one, just to give you an idea, maybe we can see it, sold out. This was also, if I'm not mistaken, made out of the same materials. But this one was really nice. If you remember this anime, you remember the manga or the video games. Very cool. There's a fantastic representation of Inuyasha. You know, it's just really, really well done. Completely sold out. This company did a really fascinating job with this figure, with this figurine. But look at what they've done. The Eren Jaeger from Attack of Titan. This is a huge figure. This also on the weightless. Made out of plastic too. But this one, I'm telling you, this one, look at that base. Look at the detail. Fascinating. You know, it's such a nice job with this one. It looked like so premium that it looks like it's made out of resin, but it's actually made out of, you know, PVC. But it's done so well. Very well done. Very nice detail. Very nice statue. For that reason, you know, that's the reason it's on the wait list. But look at this one also. Look at this other here. This Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric from, you know, from the Full Metal Alchemist. This is a very nice one. Also on the wait list. I really liked what they did with this one. This is a very nice way to represent the brothers. Very nice, very unique. Not super huge, but very well done. Very nice detail. It tells a story. So that is a very nice job. This company definitely is doing some really nice work. No doubt about it. It really captures the two characters in a very nice way. All right, so this is one, and another one. The last one they have here, it will be this one, Marin Kitawawa. This is from the anime My Dress Up Darling. This is a little more, you know, more kinky. You can call it that. She's in this bed. It's a very nice, you know, concept. You know, like she's laying in her bed. Very cool concept. Very different. And I like it when companies do something different. So yeah, this is a company that definitely does really nice figures. I definitely don't know much about Proof Collectibles. I'm not sure if they're based in Japan or Asia or even, you know, America or whatever, but it just they do some really interesting work, and definitely you have to pay more attention to what they're doing. And amazes me. Definitely some of these figures here are super intriguing for me. The detail and the design and the concept. Definitely this company is doing some really nice work for sure. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. I'm going to take you to the next company, and we're still here at Sideshow, but I want to talk about the next company on the list, which in this case will be Hex Collectibles. Hex Collectibles, they've been kind of quiet lately. They haven't really talked much about it, but they released this Raoh. If you're you know, Feast of the North Star fan, definitely this is a great figure. This is a 1/6 scale figure. This is made out of resin. And this is the Elite Dynamic statue. That's what they call it. This is the King of the Fist. And I'll tell you, even the price, it's really nice. And actually, it's polystone, PVC, polyurethane. So this is one of those hybrid statues that has different parts of different things. But looking at the detail on the statue, very well done. When I saw the picture at first, I thought I kind of skip it. I was scrolling on social media and I saw it, and I thought that I was looking at the Prime1 Studio one. And then I kind of take a second look and I said, oh, wait a minute, that's not Prime1, it's Hex Collectibles. And I'm telling you, it looks really neat. Like, look at this one. The only difference is like a small version. Like, they reduce the size of the Prime1 Studio into this one. Of course, that Prime1 Studio comes with so many different switch up parts or whatever. But this, if you don't have the space for that, and you're a 1/6K collector, this is a very nice representation of the character. Look at, you know, it looks great. Nice detail. Even that base looks great. The paint job on this prototype is great. Look at the base with the flames. Looks nice. All the corpses, skulls, the detail in his armor, the paint job in his helmet. Very well done. It's very intricate detail. They did a really nice job. So they didn't skip on the detail on this piece. They really did a really nice job, and you can see it. The paint job on his skin is very well done. Of course, this is the prototype, so let's hope that the final product kind of looks the same. But they did a good job. It would have been even better if they would have done, you know, have some switch out parts. They would have been amazing, but they don't have it. But even as that, just as a piece like that, I think stands really nice. They went for the better, the more regal look, and I think they did a really nice job. So this is definitely something that Hex Collectibles, again, it's been kind of quiet lately, but I always love what Hex does. They have done some really amazing pieces. I love the detail, particularly they do with the Naruto stuff. They've been doing amazing. But yeah, that's another one. This company, of course, again, it's been quiet, but I think they're coming with this one. Is like they have a strong comeback. It's kind of a reminder, letting us know, hey, we're here. Don't forget us. We still have some good stuff to show, and we're not afraid to bring it, you know, to bring the quality and to show you what we're capable of. So yeah, another great piece for Fist of the North Star. Very nice for 1/6 collector. So this is what we have. Now, let me take you now to, let's go to Spec Fiction. And again, I want to say to all of you, thank you for watching. I'm coming to Spec Fiction because we're going to cover the next pieces on the line. I have another 1/6 piece. This is from another company. This is the first time I'm going to talk about them. I don't know much about them. I think I'm not sure this is the first piece that they have, but definitely this is something that they have here at Spec Fiction. This is the first piece that they have. This is One Piece Silver's Rayleigh 1/6 statue by Wuji Studio. I don't know Wuji. I don't know this company. When I look into the Wuji stuff here, is the only piece they have at Spec Fiction. So I'm not sure that they have other things, or if they have a different name, because sometimes these companies are interchangeable. They're all the same company with different names. But this is $729. Now this character, I do like how they did the glasses. They actually, it looks like real glasses that they're adding there. It's not just like the frames. Sometimes some touches got just the frame but no glass inside. This one, it seems that he does have the glasses, which in my opinion is great. But look at this one. The base, that now I would say that's one of the aspects that sometimes I'm a little against it. All this extra, you know, detail that sometimes you see with these pieces. Like you see, like sometimes there's so much stuff in the base, can be overpowering, overwhelming. I would say that some of that feels here. Like there's a lot of nice detail. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things. But at the same time, I would feel that if they get rid of some of that extra detail, they minimize it and make it more central, the focal point of everything, then actually you can even save on price. Or even the look. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, the base with the trees, but it seems that sometimes, particularly with One Piece pieces, sometimes the companies they want to be extra. They want to create all these bases with all these things and all detail, the stories, and I think they get carried away with this stuff. And sometimes unnecessarily so, because that makes this piece very big. So if you're looking at 1/6, this is going to be tall. Just the scale is 1/6, and that base is making this really, really, really huge. It's still nice, you know, the concept is nice. It's not as practical for collectors to display all these huge pieces. It limits the space. You have to have separate a space for this. You have to have a tail for a character that, in my opinion, is not even an A-lister character in the animation or part of the story. So yeah, now you have to limit that. Still, don't get me wrong, I think they did a fantastic job with the statue. You know, the detail on the character is great. The effect of the battle is a battle piece. I like that he has interchangeable sword and, you know, like with the arms, and that is a very nice detail that I like. That is my favorite pose, actually, when he's doing that. I like it a lot more there than when he's doing this. Still, there's a lot of detail It's a lot of great concept here. Still, I feel that the company could have done a lot more with a lot less, you know, and that is something that I would say for most companies, for most anime companies, anime statues out there. So yeah, it's cool. At least it's not like super like the power effect of the water there. It's not like, or this I don't know if it's smoke or the air. It's not like all over the place that you cannot even see his face. At least you're able to see his body and his face, and that's a plus, because other companies, they cover, even they put so much stuff that even cover the character in the center, so the base becomes the focal point, not the statue. At least I can see the statue, at least I can see the figure in the middle a little bit. But yeah, it's busy in some way, but this is what this company is doing. Let's keep an eye on them and see what's next they're gonna do. You know, it's $729. It's a little steep, but this company definitely is doing some good stuff. It's made out of resin and polyurethane, so it's another mixed hybrid statue. All right, so the next company here at Spec Fiction that I want to cover now, I want to talk about Trieagles Studio. We haven't really talked about Trieagles lately. They've been kind of quiet. But Trieagles, don't count them out. You know, they're always there. They have this piece. They have two different versions. They got the Legend of Sword and Fairy Linjuri, and I think that, you know, Sword and Fairy, I think it's like some sort of and this is a collaboration they did with a CMG studio, and this is if I'm not mistaken, it's like a novel, like a Chinese novel, Chinese mini series. I think you can watch them on YouTube. There's plenty of those. So this one is just the deluxe version, and let me show you what it has. It's quite a scale, $739. I think it's fair price. And this one, as you can see, great detail. I like how they do these companies. The female characters, the skin looks very nice. It's a simple base. Simple, like I said, simple sometimes is better to really make these pieces shine, in my opinion. Again, it goes back to that principle, the less is more. Very nice, simple detail. I like, even though they have the tiny bridge, they go with the let me put it this way, I'm not a big fan of the force angles, the force perspective, but on this one I'm okay with that. I think with the tiny little fish, the tiny little garden, they decided to limit it, but that way not to take away and still have some visual reference, and I'm okay with that. With the pagoda right there, the little bridge in the back, the fish and all that, it still looks really, really neat. The water, the flowers, and you have the interchangeable portrait, interchangeable hand with the flower or the bird. So this is a very neat statue, very beautiful statue, very nice detail for sure. It's really a nice job by Trieagles. They did a really nice job with this one. So this is the deluxe version of this piece. Now, if you want, they also have the regular, and the regular technically is $679. So it's what, $100 difference or less. This one doesn't have the extra portrait of the flower. You have the bird, and that's it. I would say that at this price point, I would go for the deluxe version, just to have that extra. But even the regular version looks great because it's still the same base, the same detail there. The only difference will be the hand, the switch out hand, and the switch out portrait or the face. That's about it. Still a beautiful piece, very simple, but you know, it's beautiful as it is. You know, you don't have to complicate yourself as other companies do with so much detail on the bases that they become so explosive and it's so busy, so disorganized in some way, because there's so many, your eyes is going to so many places and it's not fixated into this. Here you are only fixated on the character, and I think that's what the beauty of this character, and that's about it. I think they did a fantastic job. I like the little umbrella. It's really nice. So they did a nice job with this one. Again, this is a Spec Fiction. Trieagles, again, you know, showcasing why they do amazing stuff with when they do this type of statues. They do amazing female characters. All right, so that's what we have. Now, the next thing on my list, I want to talk about, we're going to cover Prime1 Studio. And I know that some of you are really interested on this one. This is the Legacy R Kentaro from Kentaro Miura, Guts and Casca. this is one that when this was announced, when this was showcased at the most recent showcase, I was all for it. I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing. I was surprised. It's one of the most surprising pieces that I have seen from Prime1 Studio because what they went for. Of course, you know, you have to be very careful when someone passes away, as Kentaro Miura did. You don't want to miss his legacy. You don't want to just cash in. And sometimes it seems like a lot of people cashing into the memory of some of these people. But I feel that they have done it in a way very respectfully. Prime1 Studio collaborated with Kentaro. They did a lot of work with him. And definitely they continue that legacy. And they bring in some of the inspired art, some of the art that he did. And they're doing it in a really, really nice way. And this is definitely a testament of that relationship. And this is a beautiful representation of Guts and Casca. And this is one of the most difficult moments in the story, of course, after the abuse of, you know, of Casca. And this technically shifted the direction of Guts and what happened to him and everything that happened. So this is a very difficult to translate into a statue form, something that you would know. I don't think people would dare to do something like that or even cross people's minds, but they did. You know, Prime1 did. They did it in a way that respects the source material, but also it's not holding any punches, you know, and it's a very tough one to really represent. And they did it, in my opinion, they did it perfectly. At least they did it. If you're going to represent something like this, at least you'd have to do it the right way. And I feel that they nailed it. And here is the bonus part with the void hand. This just comes with the bonus. You can get this at Sideshow as well. And which is a really interesting addition to it. Cool. And it's not small. You can see 26 centimeters tall, so it's almost what, 12 inches tall. So that's the bonus. But itself, as alongside, this is a quarter scale piece. Look at the detail. The whole piece is a piece of art. This is one that definitely not everyone is going to accept, not everyone is going to love, but definitely Berserk fans can appreciate, can understand. This is for the fans. This is not for everybody. You know, people, you know, like there's statues like, you know, Marvel statues, DC statues. Everybody knows Batman. Everybody knows Wolverine. You don't even have to be invested into a story to understand some of the aspects of characters. Everybody loves Iron Man. Everybody loves Star Wars characters because, hey, you know, it's just the way it is. Everybody knows who Darth Vader is. But Berserk is definitely just for the fans, you know, so people, and not everybody, because it's a hard pill to swallow. The stories that are contained there are tough. And this is something that only a true fan of Berserk would understand and would love. You know, some people would say, oh, this is too much to represent. But they will understand what is happening here. And it's just really well done. The paint is excellent. I think it does have a light-up feature, if I'm not mistaken, looking at the way there's more pictures of the back. But look at the detail. Even the paint work in him, in them, it has more of that taint, that color based on the art. So it looks like cell shaded. You know, it just has that cell shading that is really translates into it. I think it's a nice touch because at the end, they're trying to represent the art. They're trying to represent the art of the manga, of the art that was done by Kentaro. Very, very neat. Gruesome at the same time. You can see all these demons around. Of course, that's something that a lot of people will just not like to have at home. But, you know, the LED illumination is great. It adds to that intensity, the portrait, the face of, you know, Guts, definitely. He's bleeding everywhere. He's going berserk here. He's going crazy here. And this is something that it's so good and so well done, and in a way that is respectfully at the same time, understanding the difficulty of the moment and what he's trying to represent. So yeah, this is one piece that not everyone is going to appreciate or understand, but make no mistake, this is a piece of art. And in that sense, it's unique in the design, it's unique in its concept. Look at that. And yeah, even Prime1 has to cover some of those more parts of the body, of course, that are more intimate, which I get. Although there's a lot that we can see on this piece. But yeah, it's just really a piece of art. It's such you know, detail here. It's so different than anything we have seen before. And looking at the detail and the paint job and the detail and the bloodiness, you know, all this stuff, you know, he's looking down but looking up, you know, to his mortal enemy, the one who caused this. It's just a tremendous concept here. The God hand right there. It's just a lot of things here. It just, I don't know. I'm speechless, to be honest with you, when I'm looking at this piece. You know, and this is something that I gotta be honest with you, I would have a hard time to own and to have it in my house because of what it represents. You know, and you know, I have read Berserk, but I'm not the biggest fan of Berserk. It's just a personal choice. But I know there's people out there that love Berserk. It's not my favorite manga. So people would say this is one of the best mangas of all time. It is not, is up there, but not my favorite. And everyone has a different take of what prefer. You know, I prefer others over this. Still, I consider it an iconic piece of literature in the manga world, and one that must be read in order to understand this concept, these ideas. And definitely, I think what they have done here to represent this scene, and what Prime1 has done with other pieces that they have produced, because they've been producing so many different pieces for this story, for this manga and anime. Look at this. He lost his arm right there. Look at that. First time actually I noticed that. I noticed that how gruesome the bone is there. Yeah, it's just I'm telling you, the detail here, it's really gruesome, but spot on. The detail is tremendous here. Hey, the only thing that it would be nice if they would have provided, the only thing I'm going to complain about this one is that they did not provide any it would be nice if this one came with an art print, to be honest with you. An art print of that particular the cover would be nice. Some sort of art print would have been nice, just to be as a companion for those who would like to see it. But you know, it's not there. Probably, I'm sure some people will have made their own, and they were created and displayed right next to it. I think the prices, I think, is fair. I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive because of the level of detail, the size. It's a quarter scale, but it has a lot of things happening here. It's wide, you know, the dimensions are definitely there. So I was thinking that it would cost probably around close to, even though that it was selling for $3,000 or more. But I think that at this price, it's fair as a quarter scale, and because of the level of detail, I know some people are already happy. I know some people, even on my video where that I have of this, already said that they already pre-ordering this. A lot of people are excited for it, so kudos to them for that. I think it's an interesting idea, interesting concept, and Prime1 did it and did it well. All right, my friends, that's it for Prime1 Studio. I am going to take my last break of the night, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about Sideshow Con. We're going to talk about everything, all the reveals from Sideshow Con from this week. And then, of course, we will conclude the night. But yeah, give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. And we'll cover the rest of the stuff. And we'll see how it goes. But thank you. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And to let me know where you're watching. Please leave your comments. I would like to read them here in the chat. All right, my friends. God bless. See you in a moment.
Будто в кулаке зажав великан. В иллюминаторе
Careful with your pretty eyes and run with me. You're young. 'Cause you and I are a secret. Feel my drift against your skin. 'Cause honestly, let's hold our breath. This is so real. Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight. Careful with your pretty eyes and run with me. You're young. 'Cause you and I are a secret. Feel my drift against your skin. 'Cause honestly, let's hold our breath. This is so real. Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not about that. Let me be myself. I'm not about that. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not about that. Let me be myself. I'm not about that. I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not about that. Let me be myself. I'm not about that. Let me be myself. Let me be myself.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for giving me the time. This is my final break, but I'm coming back so we can finalize tonight. And I want to say thank you for those who are being watching. Late Night Trip, thank you for the comments. Anyone else who takes the time to leave comments, also in the future, because this not only the chat, this video, you know, it stays here, and I know some people watch it. But I want to say thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I know there's other channels out there also doing what I do, but you know, I try to be as precise as I can, you know, try to cover as much. But now, of course, we cover a lot of things, cover a lot of ground. Now I want to concentrate on Sideshow Collectibles. Of course, Sideshow Con, this is the second week, was finalized. I would say there was not much really going on there, besides, you know, the live videos. They have this and that. It's hard to keep up with this stuff. It's more about, you know, selling their own products or whatever, selling other products. You know, it's more about, you know, the social media thing. Yeah, it's to me, it's a waste of time. You know, like, I think, as I mentioned last week, if they concentrate on only having 1 week of you know, would give you everything, I think it would be more exciting and perhaps a better approach. But hey, you know, that's not my decision to make. But it's kind of it's a deceiving thing, you have to say, oh, and it's a big con because in reality for a month, when in reality you don't have a month thing worth of things, you know. But hey, we got some teasers. We can go for that and we can look at this stuff. So I'm gonna take you right now to here to Sideshow. We're gonna look at the stuff that is coming soon here. This is the stuff that they showcase. There's a lot of things. So we have more details and some other stuff that were announced before. We're gonna look at some of that stuff. Of course, they got a lot of hot toy stuff. For those who are interested on the hot toy things, definitely there's a lot of things that they were showcased that we have seen even since last year. So this is not necessarily new. This stuff that has been in the comments soon for quite some time. But some of the things that I want to really cover here. One of the first teasers that they have, Core of the Dead, still not dead. You know, it's still alive for those who are fans of Core of the Dead. There's this premium format Slayer, the Undying Blade. This is, again, premium format figure. Was one of those lines that you would think that it's, you know, dead in my opinion, or they, let me increase this. That was fully dead, but it is not. It's still very alive, and as you can see, it's not. It's, you know, they don't want to let it die. So it's something that it's interesting to see. We don't know more than that. Just can see the portrait, how this is going to be. This has definitely been one of those lines that has been very successful for them. They've been able to really sell it, to have the fans for it. So why not? They're doing it. It seems that they have another one in, you know, we'll see what happens. They're going to release this sometime during this con in the next few weeks. We don't know. Only time can tell if this is going to be some sort of reveal that we're going to get. But this is the next one there that we have. So now this is one that for that, but also on the lines that they have, this is something that was showcased before. They have this Pulp Vixens. There's a third one that is coming. There's a new, we know this is coming. As you know, this is not necessarily a quarter scale. I think it's 1/5. I think this been doing great. So we know that it's going to be a new version. Be sure to catch up on episode 1, Mr. Sin, and episode 2, Deep Down. This is going to be the third one. This is just the art as we have seen it. How this is going to be based on the art, it's going to be the next one in this line. This is another one that is becoming very popular. And it seems that it has good reception. Now we got this Krampus premium format figure. That's something that we already saw this one. This was kind of like the teaser last week. So they're going to continue with this line. Definitely they're going into the more dark tone of things with all these lines that they're doing. For those who are fans. Here we have a Betty Page statue. That's something that was announced last year during the 12 days of Sideshow. This is a very nice concept. Is it going to be released this year? I think so. This is we're gonna see probably at the con next week or the following, who knows. But definitely this is very sexy, very sexy statue for sure. And as you can see, very nice. So this is perhaps one that we will get to see. We already knew that there was coming. So that is one that is good to know. But I think on the big reveals, of course, there's a lot of things that we saw last week. Another thing that this week we concentrated that is going to be a new series of portraits. This is technically for the art prints. This is a collaboration they have with artist Uzuri. They're cashing in into the art print stuff. They're cashing in into the art print and the X-Men stuff based on the X-Men 97. Definitely, it was a nice hit. So they're actually looking at the art here is definitely inspired on some of that, the style, the concept. You look at the hair of Magneto, looking at the hair on Bishop. Definitely, they're cashing in into even Aurora. So definitely, they're going for the X-Men 97 crowd, and they're kind of cool. Nice art prints. Although I'm not necessarily a big fan of art prints, but this is something that they're doing now. On the side of also we got this teaser for Cat Bane premium format. So how they're gonna do this premium format with this bounty hunter? Is it going to be based on the animated series? Is it going to be based on the TV show? Or it's gonna be something more in line with what they come up with, some different concept based on the comic book. Who knows? So it's gonna be more realistic in my opinion, and more than likely it's going to be inspired on the TV show because they want to keep building that. Already they're building that Mandalorian line, so it's gonna be more in line, in my opinion, based on that than the animated series. So people were asking that question. More than likely this is going to be based on the real character as he was presented on the Mandalorian, or Boba Fett, all of that. So we'll get to see that. So this is the next one. It was announced, of course, this week. There was the teaser that was presented. Now on the other teasers that we saw, now let me look at this list here. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Of course, on the Marvel side, we got this announcement of the Great Hulk versus the Wolverine maquette. Of course, this already been a Hulk and Wolverine maquette. So not sure if they're going to give us the same maquette as before, but now repainted. It's going to be a repaint of that maquette. And when I'm talking about, for those who would like to have an idea, Sideshow Hulk versus Wolverine. Meaning this one right here, which already sold out. It's still, some people like it, some people didn't like it. So this is the maquette that we had. So are they gonna repaint this one and give us a total different coloring? Are they going to do some changes to this maquette to accommodate to the new style? How are they going to do it? That is the question. Because this is gonna be the Gray Hulk, so they're going for that gray color. What the Wolverine is going to be, this same Wolverine, or is going to be a different Wolverine? Are they going to do some tweaking to the Wolverine? It's going to be more classic Wolverine. We don't know. What the truth, the matter is that we don't know. So, but this is definitely more than likely a repaint with some changes. But that's something that was announced this week. We'll see what happens. When are they going to showcase this? Maybe not this week, but the following. The final week, maybe that's when they have the presentations and we can get to see it. So that, but another one that was very interesting to see on this was the Beast premium format figure. Definitely a lot of people are excited. Again, they're cashing into the X-Men fan base out there. Sideshow has produced a lot of different, over the years, they built that collection of premium format figures with the X-Men. Definitely Beast has been necessary for a long time. We have seen other Beasts, of course. You see the Iron Studios Beast. But that is, of course, a little more of a modern take of Beast, more in the modern comics. I think people would like to have a more traditional look, or even more 90s look. That's where something that most collectors would prefer, because that's technically where they have taken the more on the classic 80s and 90s inspiration that have been taking for the X-Men on the premium format figure line. So more than likely, that's what they're going for. So when you look at Iron Studios Beast, like for example, this one, this is the Legacy Replica Quarter Scale. So, which some people didn't like it. It's, I still think it's a great Beast. more it has a little bit of Madureira look in the art. More, you know, looks kind of like a monkey, like a gorilla. But it's, in my opinion, it's great. It looks like a gorilla. So some people may not like the gorilla look, but this is of course what we have with Iron Studios, and it's on the wait list. But also you can see XM Studios Beast, which is also Beast Wars Beast, which is also great in my opinion. This is another great piece. Some people may not necessarily be fans of it, but I personally liked it. Let me see, we can open the pictures. Here we talk about it when this was announced. You know, maybe some of the paintwork looks too dark. You know, it's also great beast, but definitely it's always been this desire to see, and there's been a lot of great customs pieces, by the way, of beast. But I think people are always have the desire, you know, the expectation, the hope that Sideshow would have done a beast, and you know, how Sideshow can take it. You know, how Sideshow can really represent this character, and I think most people will like to see that. You know, I think. I'm always being in my mind. I always kind of like wondered how does Sideshow would do this or that, and I feel a lot of people do. And this is a great beast, you know, this too. But I think premium. I would say honestly here, I gotta be honest. I think Sideshow can top those. I think it can, because they when it comes about creating the ultimate representation of characters, they definitely are up there always. You know, their style. Sometimes they mess it up, but for the most part, they give what the customers want. They already know what the customers of premium formats want. Of course, for so many years, not a huge base, just a simple base, a great representation of the character that is more on the classic side, but also with that modern take that only Sideshow does. And, you know, where there is more like a semi-museum pose, that people are fine with that. It fits better than a very extreme pose. It doesn't go, because that's the problem that you have with a lot of this other pieces. When you combine some pieces, like some of the Sideshow pieces, when you combine it with XM, sometimes they're more on the extreme. Like this beast from XM Studios is more like he's angry, he's in battle mode. And when you try to pair it with the Sideshow, then the Sideshow, they're more calm, you know, more a museum pose, more relaxed pose. So, you know, it's like the look is not great. You want the look that it's similar. And at the end of the day, Beast is not only the monster, or you can call it a monster, a beast. He's an intellectual, and I feel that that's another aspect that you want to see, the more intellectual side of him, but also that happiness that only he can do. And there's something that you can see, even like Bowen Designs did. I remember when Bowen Designs did his own beast. Bowen Designs, there was two different versions of beast. One based on the art of which is actually, by the way, was sculpted by Eric Sosa. And this, of course, when you look at this is let me see, we can open this. Man, I hate when it happens. Okay, this beast right here is based Eric Sosa. This was based on the art of Jim Lee, so this is the more extreme side of that. But then you have the one like this one right here, and that is based on the art of, let me see if we can open it, of when the era when George Perez was there. And that is a bit more of a happy looky, kind of like when he was part of the Avengers. So it has that 80s like look in some way, early 80s, you know, late 70s. So he does have that look. So I wouldn't say that this is the look that I want personally for a beast. You know, I want something that it shows the intellectual side, but also shows the beast as it's supposed to look. You know, so yeah, I don't know. It's something that it's still kind of like in the air. You know, people are still wondering. Of course, we have seen so many different variations. Of course, you know, I gotta be honest. Something that we cannot forget is that Sideshow has done a beast, and what they did was the old comic Cat, the 1/5 scale. That people don't talk about that piece. It's been so long, but that beast is still a great piece. Look at this one right here on eBay. That represented the more intellectual side of the beast. But this was a 1/5 scale piece. I don't know if you can see it here. This is an idea here. I'm eBay. Still a great piece, but it has the more modern take of Beast, at least from the early 2000s in the comics. Intellectual, as you can see. Are they going to do something very similar here with that one? Who knows? Again, this is a comic kit. This is a 1/5 scale. This is the only time, as far as I remember, I think that's it, the only time Sideshow has ever done a Beast statue. So now it's time for a premium format figure for sure. You know, it's the time that Sideshow has been. This is here a picture of the. Look at this one. This is the one here in Reddit. This is the one from XM Studios, which as people have used. It's still a great piece. Now, don't get me wrong. The XM Studios did a really fantastic job with it, and it looks nice. You know, it looks great. It has the 2 different portraits. Very nice. I would like one, like the only thing that I would say also I have complaints with that one is the fact that both portraits are very similar. The only difference is the glasses. It would have been nice if there was a portrait like this one and one that he's more calm, more intellectual. That would have been probably the best idea, where you're able to have the 2 sides of Beast. The one where he is definitely a beast when he's angry and he is in a fight mode, and the one where he's an intellectual, where he is, you know, who he is, and sometimes a bit quirky. So that would be perhaps my only, because that was the thing. You know, here, for example, this is the Sideshow, very great piece of Gambit. This collector, he has this display. Look at this one. He's combining this Sideshow with the... is that the Sideshow? Yeah. That's the Sideshow maquette, combining it with the one, which actually pairs really nicely with that one from XM Studios. Although I prefer the one from Sideshow. But here you can see this collector having some pictures, magic and all. But yeah, I think it's time for Sideshow to really come with a Beast, and maybe this is it. Who knows? You know, like, I think that the possibilities are there. So this was a nice reveal. Now there's another one that has been in talks heavily this week, although they don't have this, but we already knew it was coming. And I think this is one that people are super excited. We knew because the 12 Days of Sideshow last year, we got the hint that the Weapon X was in the works. Finally, they have given us a bit more of the image, and some people are happy with it, some people not so much. There's a lot that we do not know yet. Is Weapon X, this is a bit different take of Weapon X. Some people may not like it. I'm okay with the art because it's based on the comic book of Weapon X. It's based on the interior art, and here's definitely when Wolverine Weapon X is in the tank. So they are representing that. You can see the bubbles, which is kind of neat that they did it this way. Now, this is just a touch. We don't know. So they're going to have this idea that he is in the tank. Is he's going to have anything else removable in this piece? Are they going to have a different portrait to go with it, with the visor that he has also in the comic book? They went for the one without it. He's really breaking free of that tank. So I like the concept. I think there's a lot here to take in. And I like it. I think they're going freestyle on this one. And that's something that, you know, not everyone, because if you want to go for more classic, then of course you go to XM Studios Weapon X. Look at this one. I think XM Studios did a fantastic job with their Weapon X. But they went into the more, it has a little bit of take also with the, you know, with the films too. And it's a really nice one too. The light of features is huge. It's a really nice concept. You know, it's hard to top this. And this is the thing. XM did it really nice. XM really went with a concept that was, I would say, it's proven the way most people would like to see. You know, it's a very nice concept, the way it's presented here. So it seems to me that there's no other way to create a Weapon X without having to copy somebody else. So because a lot of the in this case, the Weapon X statues that we have seen, they're very similar in the pose. Like this is coming out of the tank as well. It looks like he's wet. He looks more like the, you know, like the actor rather than the comic book. But it still looks great. They did a really nice job with this one. So if you do something very similar, then people are going to say you're copying XM. Although XM, you know, they simply went with what was more normal to look at. And to be honest with the concept, even with the, you know, the helmet, all that, it looks fine. When you look at, for example, Bowen Designs, because let's be clear, Bowen, you know, they're not necessarily the only ones. Bowen Designs did it first, always. You know, you always have to think about this. Bowen Designs did it first. Look at this one that Bowen did. And we're looking at just to give you an idea. So because I like to have these references for, you know, this is going up in price, man. And I remember when I had the opportunity to buy it and I skip it, and I was probably like $200 or so. And I was like, nah, I'll buy it later. Now I kind of kick my head for not doing it, but I don't know if we can open it here. But this is the Weapon X, the lap wire version. There was two there were two different versions of this. As always, Bowen was known for having versions of things. This is this, in my opinion, was the best version. But here, technically, this is what did, and definitely this is taken out of the comic book. It looks fantastic just the way it is, perfect as it is, perfect, completely perfect as it is. Of course, you know, you're looking at a small scale. People wanted to have in the full thing. Here is when it was presented, when it was sculpted. Look at this one. That was the concept. The like without the helmet. So this is the artist who did it. Very nice piece, by the way. It's super nice. Other companies have done other versions, but most of the time, keep in mind, companies have followed the same trend. I think technically what XM did, you know, even Kotobukiya did. X also did one. It's just not bad. When you look at Kotobukiya, although I still prefer the Bowen, the way Bowen did it. But this is what Kotobukiya did, and some people really like this one. So technically, when you go with Weapon X, you know, how much can you do? You know, like, it's like all the time. You know, this one is also Kotobukiya. Eric also did a really nice job with this one as well. It's a really nice job with this one too. Even the paint job was really good on this. Very nice depiction of Weapon X. And the removable portrait, very nice job, very spot on. They did a really nice job with this one. So as you can see, there's a lot of different variations. There's so many, there's enough Weapon X for different scales. But, you know, and even this Marvel Gallery, that's PVC figure, look at this one. It's everybody always does the same poses. You know, it's like there's a lot of similarities with all of them, even with this PVC one. You know, so it's hard to not, you know, to not miss it. You know, like, it's like the character, it's always the same for every company. So I would say I give kudos to Sideshow for trying something very different, which is also in the comic book, not going for the one that most people know and think about Weapon X, going to a different pose when he's in the tank. I think that is a very clever idea. And in my mind, why is it that nobody has ever done it? You know, thought, you know, I've seen some custom pieces or concepts that have been done with this idea in the tank. But I think Sideshow is really taking its own, and they're fantastic when it comes about creating these ideas of concepts or giving you the impression that there's something underwater. So I don't know. At least it's what we have. Is it going to have switch out parts, switch out portrait? Who knows? We will know when this is revealed. But I do think that definitely Sideshow is trying something really different, and perhaps this is of all the stuff that we have they have announced so far this week, and this is the one that has intrigued me the most. At least that we know, of course. We already knew it was coming, but we didn't know exactly when it was coming. They took their sweet time to reveal more, but this is what we have so far, and I think there is potential here. So people may not like it. It's always gonna be people out there that, you know, don't like one thing or the other, but at the same time, I feel that this is something very unique and different. I want to see it in person, hopefully next week or the following. Before this con is out, hopefully we are able to see it in video at least, you know, because nobody's going to be there, or maybe some YouTubers will be there, but not this one because I'm not big enough for that. But in any case, my friends, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for being here. This is technically the last piece of the night. Let me drink some water before I give you my final thoughts. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been here. All right, time to shut it down. It's time to shut the shop down. I would say it's been an interesting week. Of course, although we cover a good amount of time doing a lot of stuff here, almost 3 hours. It seems like has become the standard for me here. We cover a lot of things. We took our time to talk about some things too. It's very cool, you know, what companies are doing. Even though it seems like companies are slow, they're really ramping up for what is to come. A lot of stuff is coming on pre-order. Definitely, there's interesting things. NECA's, like we mentioned earlier, is getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. Really looking forward to what they have to reveal. What's next for them? The expansion of the lines they already have. The Gargoyles, what they're gonna do. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what is to come. Is there anything new that they're adding? You know, they're adding a new line. We'll see. We also see, you know, Hono Toys definitely continues to do amazing stuff. Also, there's a Thor figure that's coming from Honō. We know that, so definitely that's something that we need to kind of pay attention to. Hot Toys, of course, always with the enough figures. So what they're gonna have what else they're gonna reveal? We don't know. Definitely excited for McFarlane, what they are going to release in this week. We're gonna talk about it, the stuff that goes on pre-order. We're gonna talk about the price. We're gonna look at the pictures when they reveal more pictures. So we'll cover all of that. Definitely, there's a lot of companies doing stuff. Small stuff in the anime side. There's plenty companies doing stuff. We cover that. That Prime1 studio killed it with the Guts and Casca. That is a fascinating statue, a piece of art for sure. And definitely a lot of the teasers that were here, they were interesting. So there's a lot to cover. But yeah, most companies are kind of quiet. I was surprised that PCS didn't release anything this week. Normally they've been doing almost every week there's been a reveal. But companies are kind of stepping down a bit. They're slowing down to avoid, to really concentrate on trying to deliver stuff. I received a newsletter from Twitter head that they said they're not going to be at Sideshow, San Diego Comic-Con, unfortunately. They'll be there in person, but they're not going to have a presence of statues. They are decided to stop with some of the stuff that is coming on pre-order because they want to concentrate on getting all the stuff ready, start to deliver a lot of stuff that they have. It's been a lot of problems with the shipping in China, the cost of trying to get stuff. So companies are struggling with that. They want to fulfill those orders, but they have to acquire, they have to secure those containers for them to be able to carry carry all those packages out of China and bring it into their warehouses and being able to distribute to the whoever. So there's a lot of the challenges that they're facing. So in that newsletter, of course, they're saying that they're slowing down, that they're gonna wait till August to have releases, or after August. So there's not gonna be anything else during July. So they want to slow down on the pre-orders. So we'll see, maybe August, maybe September. Who knows? So I think that that's the approach. Maybe companies are getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con, but also trying to slow down so they don't cut themselves with so many pre-orders but not enough releases. You know, you don't want to upset customers by asking for their money but not giving them what they want. So I think that is the smart thing to do. But yeah, there's a lot of things. The Tomy Plus, the Enterprise that is coming, definitely is riling people up. Interesting what's going to happen, so we're gonna keep an eye on it. So yeah, there's exciting times. This has been an interesting week, and we'll see what happens next. So I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for taking the time. Don't forget to leave a like in the video, subscribe if you're watching this for the first time, you like this channel. Follow me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads, JP Sari. That is wherever you're gonna find me, you're gonna see JP Sari. And also consider supporting the channel, whether it's to Patreon or Super Chat. I appreciate your support. Thank you for taking the time. We'll have the timestamps tomorrow, and stay tuned there for some videos. I'm working on some stuff. I want to at least be on that, just producing the live videos every Saturday, and we'll also at least have videos, other type of videos during the week. So I'm trying to work on that. It's hard with my schedule, But you know, there's always a desire, and definitely trying to find the time and trying to organize my schedule to do things that need, without sacrificing my family, without sacrificing my rest and my work and all of that. So my friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you